All right. You know what that sound means? That sound means it's another great edition of the Thursday Night Throwdown Special NBA Draft Edition. We're back on Thursday night, too. We should be rocking and rolling tonight. Got a lot of things to have. We have some short number of games, but we've got a lot of different sports. We got the WNBA rocking today. We got baseball rocking right now. We'll look for some live options that we can get on. We're going to have the Canadian football matchup of the year in week 3 of the CFL. You've got the BC Lions, led by Vernon Adams, versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are an absolute stud team. We're on the over. Get on in with us. Let's cash. We got the NBA draft. We got picks from months ago to picks to today. We've got some picks we're going to give you today that we're going to rock and roll. That you can still get live. We got 30 minutes. Get them in on FanDuel. Let's go. I will start to see what's going. I don't believe the hype. I still think Brandon Miller's going too. And that'll give cash us a very nice reward. It'll also be the 3rd straight year we cashed the number 2 pick in the draft. So let's rock and roll. We've got some plays for Friday. We've got some plays for Saturday. Join me there. We're going to talk to the draft. We're going to go through this. We're going to talk about the resurgence of the San Diego Padres, which actually look like a baseball team now. Playing pretty well. They actually got a good starting pitcher. So, all right, Rich, anything that the guys can get on now before we get started? I know D's putting all the picks on the list, and he popped out for a second.
Yeah, so I mean the only thing I had was I took Pirates first 5 money line. You can't get on that right now. They're in the 4th inning, so but like you said, I went through the games since we're short on baseball games tonight. I went through the games for tomorrow and for Saturday, so we can go over that later. But yeah, okay. That's all I've got tonight.
Sounds good. Sounds great. Yeah. So we've got a 2-2 game with the Rays in Kansas City. On this, you got the first game where Wander Franco's getting the team suspension for 2 days. We got the Seattle Mariners getting out to a huge lead to start the game, 4 runs in the first, versus a Yankee offense that has been struggling to score runs. So we'll see what that happens a bit.
That's not good for my Herman pickup in fantasy.
Oh, you picked up Herman?
Yeah, I picked him up to start him tonight. That was it.
I am going to give a teaser out in the Canadian Football League. Guys, like I said, I love the under in this. I think BC Lions are live tonight. So as
you
long
like the
as
under?
No, I like the over.
Okay. All right.
I think we see tons of points. The other bet I'll tell you right now is the second half over. We're taking the second half over. It's going to be around 22, 23 points. Whatever it is, we're going to take it.
Okay. How did that game start?
I believe 8:30.
Okay.
So we've got some time on that. We can see if our picks pick. But I am going to give a teaser. I'm going to take the Lions plus 12, and I'm going to take the over 43.5. So Vernon Adams is an electric player. If the kid wasn't like 5'4", he'd probably be playing in the NFL.
Yeah. Lions plus the point seems to be the consensus from everybody that I've heard today. Also, the over seems to be the consensus.
Well, Winnipeg in years past has been known for having a very, very stout defense. For whatever reason, they're not stout at all. Let me put it this way. I believe this is game number 3, if I'm not mistaken. I bet every game, so I bet 3 games. There might have been another game that slipped by that I missed. But I bet all 3 games. And what you're basically looking at in this season, 2 games. The second half over was done in the 3rd quarter. None of the second half overs went to the 4th quarter to decide. They didn't stop scoring in the 4th quarter, but you covered the points in the 3rd quarter. most of the games have been close going into the
Mhm.
halftime, and then they just thumped them to end the game. You've got two teams that are putting up points galore. You got 87 points in 2 games for the Blue Bombers. You got 47 for the Lions. You've got, this is the one question that you have, is the Lions the great defense that's left? Because they've only given up 15 points. But this Blue Bomber team will be able to move the football. Sorry. The Blue Bombers have given up 58 points. 58 points in 2 games is generally not a winning losing. Now, part of that giving up is because they've been up so much in the second half that teams have been able to score.
Right.
So I'm on the first half over. I'm on every single way you can get on this over. So
All right.
I'm definitely riding this. Then we got some WNBA action starting here in 24 minutes. I'm taking the Wizards first half -2. Sorry, not the Wizards, the Mystics first half -2 versus the Sky.
Like, damn. Like, they're in the WNBA now? They that bad?
We will actually talk about
They
this.
might as well be.
We'll talk about
They
this
that bad?
first the draft, but what you basically look at is it actually wasn't that bad. When you, for what they've been able to accomplish in the parameters that they were given, which looked like crap until the Jordan Poole trade today, you basically start to get a little bit better sense to have. I mean, in their sense, and we'll talk about it a little later, you got a starting point guard, you got a starting 2 guard. That's what you have moving forward. You're going to have Johnny Davis. You're going to have the 8th pick in this draft, which I've got a huge play that they go with the kid from France who has the second best upside and potentially in the draft at 6'8", and most people believe if he came into the draft next year would have been a top 5 pick. And they leave him in France for a year because it's can do with time. But I've got a plus 4,000 that he's drafted by the Wizards. So if that happens, you will see me shoot through the moon.
Well,
So
what is that? What is that guy's name? I was real limited on what my book was giving me for.
Well, I went to MGM. I went to FanDuel. I went to my book. It's Koulibaly. Koulibaly under 11.5. The reason it's
Okay.
11.5 because he's got 2 places he could go. And I mean, we could talk about this. We'll actually, let's go into the draft since we got 20 minutes. I believe Brandon Miller's our 2nd pick. I've been telling you Brandon Miller's the number 2 pick overall for a while. The numbers have flipped and odd and changed. And they're on Scoot. They're not on Scoot. They're on Scoot. Let me tell you what Scoot Henderson is. He's Derrick Rose 2.0. He has no outside shot. He's a ball-dependent guard who has to basically get to the rim. Now, he can get to the rim a lot because he's very, very quick. He's got a very good handle. He can play make for other guys, but he's going to shoot less than 20% probably from 3 in the NBA. He's not going to be a guy that teams are going to worry about all. It's basically kind of Russell Westbrook 2.0 with maybe not the same hops or the size that Russell Westbrook has. Now, the kid's only 18 years old, but to me, this is DeJuan Walker. That's who he reminds me of. And we all know how that turned out. The difference is DeJuan Walker went to college and people got to work out, but DeJuan Walker was still a first-round draft pick. Couldn't shoot worth a lick, but he could get to the hole. There, I still think it's there. Number 3, if as long as Miller's pick 2, Scoot's going to be 3. Whether there's a trade or not, possibly. But if there is, it's to draft Scoot Henderson. There are some slight rumors that if Portland is forced to pick this pick, they will take Amen Thompson. And that's the only other guy that's slightly in play. You want to put a small quarter wager. That's kind of what I did. Because you can get Thompson at plus 500. Thompson.
To be number 3? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Thompson has potentially major upsell. He's that prototypical what you love to see every time. Dante Exum, 6'7", 6'8" point guard. And how teams fall in love with that. But the kid's got a nice handle. He's a good playmaker. His brother's going to probably be drafted 5th to Detroit, most likely. But Detroit could go a different way as well. A lot of people are wondering the smoke stores. So pre-draft, everybody had Whitmore going to Detroit at 5. The kid out of Villanova. He can score on 2 levels. He can play power forward. I have Jarris Walker, the kid from Houston, who had a great, basically NCAA tournament. The only issues is 6'8" power forward. To me, as soon as I read 6'8" power forward, I'm like, those guys grow on trees. 6'8" power forward is not hard to find that can score. I want a 6'10" power forward that can score. If you want a 6'8" power forward, go trade for Julius Randle. There's your 6'8" power.
So do you like that Koulibaly? I've got DraftKings has given me Koulibaly top
under
10.
11.5.
I've only got him top 10.
The only team that's going to take him is the Wizards. So I would just rather bet him to go to the Wizards. Because if he doesn't go to the Wizards, you're not winning that bet.
Yeah.
But the money you're going to get to him to go to the Wizards, number 8, is plus 4,000.
Yeah, I don't have. Like I said, I got limited stuff here. MGM took everything down. You like Grady Dick top 10?
Grady Dick has moved to 11.5, and I think he goes 10 or 11. The question is, what do the Mavs do?
Right.
He's got a good chance.
I don't think I've got anything that's looks like all the value's gone out of here because I waited because I'm a dumb.
Okay. I gave you that like an hour ago.
I know you did.
So we go.
I didn't have any of this stuff before. To be fair, I did check it this morning.
I've got some different ways with Ausar Thompson. I've got him drafted under 5.5, and then I've got him also going 6, just in case he doesn't go.
Is that the crappy brother or the good brother? There's one is way better than the other, right?
It depends upon who you talk to. One's going to play point guard. The other one's not going to play point guard. Ahmed is the only guy who could possibly play point guard. Ausar Thompson is not a point guard.
What I saw, the thing I saw was, I think it was Ahmed was minus 700 to go first of the 2.
Correct. But I know some very good players. There's some guys at VEASAN that took Ausar to go first because there's a lot of little rumors. Here's the deal. At number 4, here's what it is. At number 4, this is where the draft starts. And the reason I tell you that this is where the draft starts is because it's very simple. The Rockets don't want to make a pick. They don't want to pick 4. They don't want at all to pick 4 because you drafted Jabari Smith 2. You drafted Jalen Smith 2. You drafted Alperen Sengun 13. You don't want to turn around and draft another rookie, put him together with those other 3 first-year, second-year players. And besides the 2 you also drafted last year. You drafted Ty Washington last year as a late first. You drafted who's the other kid we liked coming out of I think it was Arkansas. I can't even think of his name. Small forward. We both were happy they drafted him, and he had a pretty decent year for what he was going to give him. They don't want to draft another rookie. That's the issue when you're like, oh, I got 19 picks like the OKC. You don't want to put 8 rookies out on the floor and say, let's see what happens. Like last year, they put 3. There's a big reason that OKC could move that pick at 11. So you sit there and you look at what's going to happen. Ausar is going to play shooting guard. So if Houston drops back, the whole draft becomes open. And there is a lot of talk that teams have been trying to get into the draft. Dallas trying to get into the top 5.
Cavs
Cavs trying to get in.
Cavs are trying to get in the first round.
Lakers acquired pick 40. Why did they acquire pick 40? How do you always acquire a pick in the second round? Cash, and pick 47 gives you pick 40. So, I mean, that's why I love when people are, oh, yeah, I got a second round pick. You know, you can have $200,000. We'll get you a second round pick every year from somebody. So they're trying to move up. So there's the whole James Harden, which I don't think James Harden's really trying to go to Houston. I think he's trying to use them as leverage because no other team's looking really to pay him. So, but there's a move. You got Trae Young. You've got all the talk about what Atlanta's doing. Dejounte Murray on that Houston team would be absolutely sick. I just flat out tell you that would be they could be one of the teams that could be a quick contender pretty quickly if some of their guys improve as they continue to improve and fill out others. They got cap space. They can take on a player.
What, you see like maybe Zion going to the Blazers or something?
No. I think Zion's one place that really was going to go to Charlotte because Zion's from the Carolinas. It would have been a huge draw for them. And the fact that they said no basically led it to believe that I think New Orleans is going to try to trade him, but I don't know if they're. I mean, Portland, you have talks of that. Maybe that helps. If Portland moves the pick for Zion, okay, it's there. But I think the real thing is 4 because I don't think the Rockets want to make that pick. And if they don't make that pick, the rest of the draft comes over. I don't believe Anthony Black is going to Orlando. I bet heavily against it. I'm not a big Anthony Black fan at all. Whitmore is the one guy. It's a question of how far he slides. Whitmore to 8. If like Koulibaly has a chance, Whitmore has a chance. The only issue I have issues with is taking Whitmore at 8 for the Wizards. You just jettison half the team. Trying to change your timeline. Now, today's trade to get Jordan Poole kind of changes that. Maybe you get essentially the best player who's ready to score now in Cam Whitmore. The other guy that's probably live here is Kobe Buffkin. But I think Buffkin goes to Toronto at 13. There's openings where he could go to OKC, but the word from Buffkin's there, Buffkin only tried out for a short number of teams because he wanted to go to really a bad team that he could play a lot of minutes. He went to Toronto. He went to Washington. He went to teams that basically were ready to give him a starting job where he could score a lot. Does that mean he's not a win first player? Who knows? Mariners scored 2 more. They're up 6-0. So that's where I think I can't wait. This is gonna be so much fun. Every year I love the draft. It's the best. I think it's the best event there. I just get so much stoked there. If you can get some guys like to be first round picks, Trace Jackson Davis, I think gets a first round pick. There's a couple books that are out there that you can still get him. Top 20 pick, Noah Clowney to be picked in the top 20. Jalen Hood Schiff to be picked in the top 20. Kind of a guy that's there. You've got some picks. Who goes first, Hawkins or Wallace? Personally, I like Wallace to go first before Hawkins. So we shall see. Should be a fun night. WNBA getting ready to tip off. You got the Suns and Lynx. Suns missing a huge score tonight. 18-point score. Will miss the game tonight. They're 10-3 versus the Lynx. I still like the Sun to win this game. I think their team is better. Then you have the Mystics and Sky. We already talked about that. And then later we got the Fever and the Storm, which the Storm quietly has started to play a lot better. And then at 8:30, we've got a Brazilian Serie A game that I'm on Flamengo money line. So
Flamingo.
Flamingo. I'm trying to see how I'm going to be able to watch the CFL game tonight.
Yeah, I can't tease that CFL apparently on either of my books. So you like the
Why?
over?
Yeah, I
don't
like
know.
the over. I took the over straight. I think the over first half straight. Yep.
No teasers, no parlays.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, but I'd
Yeah.
take them both. 49.
Yeah, 49.5.
So we also got a college baseball game. Hey, did you put the picks in? D, I thought you were putting the picks in the banners.
Oh, shoot. No,
All right.
got you.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, no problem. We also got a college baseball game. I'm on the under 8 in Wake Forest LSU. So this is where the legend of Paul Skeens goes against essentially the Wake pitching staff, and we'll see what happens here. So, that's getting ready to kick off here in 9 minutes.
Pirates' first 5 came through. If either of you guys played that.
No, but I have Mitch Keller.
Yeah, it's 2-1. Close game.
Yeah. Keller's turned into a nice pitcher for them.
All right, what do you want on the banner?
Yeah.
I'll put all of our plays that we put in the chat, in our regular chat. Like the Winnipeg over, LSU under 8, Grady Dick under 11.5 plus 200, Buffkin over 12.5, or the 13th overall pick. Put a quarter unit on that, or whatever you want. Or you really want to go for it, you can go for it. I wouldn't put we'll put the plays from Rich for Friday and Saturday on a little later.
Who was the matchup you said you liked?
Wallace, Kason Wallace versus Jordan Hawkins.
Let me see if I got that one.
Damn, Ben's playing this week. Got on his case, and all he's done is basically come out and said, all right, can you get on my case? All right. I didn't have a lot of games. I only played 4 guys today. He played the entire lineup. I don't know how. Like, the only guy I really have is Mitch Keller. And Blake Snell had a great game.
DraftKings took down all the lines for the draft. God, I hate this.
Yeah.
I was complaining today because DraftKings, MGM is the one that I've been using like as my primary, and it was down this morning, and I was just trying to get lines. That's all I wanted. And so I was trying to view lines, didn't have no lines. So I'm like, okay, let me jump over to DraftKings. Still got some money in there. Jump over to DraftKings. DraftKings is freaking down too. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
One of them's down for maintenance. The other one's down because they suck.
But it's been crazy because everybody's mock draft that comes out and says, hey, this is where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Is basically now, quite frankly, Woj should not be doing what he's going to do this whole draft, but Sharms will do it, so he's basically forced to. He'll announce the pick before the pick is announced.
Yep.
So
I don't understand. Brandon Miller was consensus number 2 up until what? Like a week ago or something, or a few days ago, and now it's like, oh, maybe Miller's not number 2. It's like Miller was number 1 if it wasn't for Wembanyama. Like,
yeah,
why is he all of a sudden not number 2?
The issue is they did an unprecedented thing. Charlotte brought Miller back and Scoot back for a workout Monday.
Yeah. Normally
you don't do that this late in the draft. And then after that pick, it was basically a kind of a talk of Miller. Now Miller kind of has talked some shit about Michael Jordan, which probably hasn't helped his case, unless he doesn't want to go to Charlotte. I mean, he what he said was perfectly fine. It was kind of tongue in cheek, and I actually kind of applaud him.
Didn't he say something about Paul George?
Well, what he said, he didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan. He grew up watching PG, which he's not wrong. Based on the age.
I would have picked somebody else.
I mean, but Paul George is a perennial all-star. It's not like he's saying he's the GOAT. But it was kind of sold like that. But that's not what he said. But and then he
With
basically
no hardware.
said, he's just old. He was like, he's just old. I watched Michael Jordan miss a free throw, airball a free throw. He's like, he's just old, and it's fine, and it happens. Because he also called him just a shooter. But I think that's Jordan was just trying to see his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan's looking for that guy with that killer instinct like he had. And seeing essentially he was there. So here's what
I thought Jordan was out. I thought Jordan was still on the team, or is he still? He's still.
Jordan is, but here's the thing: Jordan's out as majority owner. He's going to still be a minority owner. It's already been said that the new ownership trusts Jordan as well. They want him to be heavily involved with the team. So the other thing is Jordan has the final say tonight. With that being said, I can't see Jordan taking a guard that can't shoot. He also doesn't like 18-year-old kids that weren't challenged.
I mean, Jordan wasn't exactly one to not say stuff to piss people off. So he should be able to relate. He should be able to relate to Miller. I mean, Jordan said whatever the hell he wanted and didn't give a shit who he pissed off. So he wasn't exactly the most PC player.
Yes, Scoot to me also makes 0 sense. That's my biggest deal with Scoot. He just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're going to put him with a dominant guard with Paul, who, let's face it, LaMelo Ball is not the world's greatest shooter. And if you're just going to do it, there's teams are just going to sag off on him. And I think Terry Rozier is still going to take his minutes. I mean,
so it's not that Henderson is ahead of Miller. It's that Miller, it wouldn't be a pick for Henderson. It'd be a pick against taking Miller, basically.
Correct. Well, I mean, if you're taking Scoot, you're taking Scoot because you're worried about Ball leaving eventually, or you're worried about, or maybe you're trying to work out a Zion deal and it's just going to take more time. You think you could acquire some more assets and then trade Scoot to New Orleans. My problem with Scoot, I don't see Scoot as anything. I see him as, like I said, John Morant, DeJuan Walker without a shot. Russell Westbrook type. I just don't see it. He's not as great on the defensive end as Miller. I think Miller allows you to do one major thing that you want to do in Charlotte also, which the media is not talking about it, which is trade Miles Bridges. You can trade Miles Bridges. You Brad Miller come in. He plays the 3. PJ Washington did perfectly fine at the 4. You drafted Mark Williams last year. Williams is come in. He's going to compete. He's going to come in and give you defensive and rebounds at the 5. And then you have your guard play. I mean, with Kelly Oubre, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier. I think that's what you do. I mean, unless you're ready to turn the page on what Bridges did and bring it back. But I think it would behoove them to just move Miles Bridges. Because Miles Bridges, I still like Miles Bridges as a player. He's a solid player. So, Scoot doesn't give you that. Scoot just gives you another guard to come play and him try to somehow get minutes with a crowded backfield. So, That's why there's some talk with Amon Thompson. Amon Thompson's pure size intrigues teams because, again, it always does. 6'7", guy who's got better handles, who can play point guard. Played point guard for Overtime Elite. His brother played shooting guard. His brother's not a ball handler. His brother's got a better outside shot. Amon Thompson's a better playmaker.
Is that team they were on? Is that in the Ignite League? Is that Ignite? Or is it something else? I'm thinking something else.
They were an Overtime Elite.
That's the name of the league.
Yes. So your question again is who they play.
Well, all these different things popped up, and these kids that don't have to go to college anymore to make it, but they're not going straight from high school.
So Overtime Elite is a league for 16 to 20-year-olds.
Yep.
They have a minimum salary of $100,000 per year, in addition to bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of
this is big. This is big for OTE because the OTE basically, I mean, that over 100,000 is more than what they're paying. The G League pays. So,
well, it validates the league.
Correct. Well, validates the league that you got some kids to skip college and go through. Yep.
I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, these kids aren't going to college to get a degree. Like, their profession is going to be, NBA player. That's their profession. They don't need a degree.
Correct. But most of these guys, the one thing you're talking very small rosters. You're talking 8 to 9 kids on a roster.
Yeah.
They have a grand total of 3 teams.
Oh, there's only 3 teams in the league?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
YNG Dreamers, Cold Hearts, and City Reapers.
Huh.
Dave Lato was
what
the
do
coach.
They do? Just freaking play each other?
Yep. And I guess one guy has the night off.
Yeah. Huh.
And now they did announce they're expanding to 6 more teams. So they'll be at 6 for 2023.
Right. It's got to be appealing to high school kids that don't want to, I mean, think about all the stuff you don't have to deal with by doing that.
So your MVP of the league was Oscar Thompson, not Amen Thompson.
Okay.
So is this kid Skynes or Skeens? Is he's the real deal or what?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that the kid they compared to Strasburg?
Yeah, so Paul Skeens.
That was the comparison, I think.
Paul Skeens is projected to be your top pick in your Major League Baseball draft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a double.
And Dylan Cruz will be pretty much right behind him. So there's projected to go to the Washington Nationals at number 2, with Dylan Cruz going next. So, I mean, we're in the 5th inning already in college baseball, and we have no runs. No, wait, that's the other game. That's got to be old. It's not the 5th
No,
inning.
we have no runs. Yes,
It is the 5th inning. Yeah. All right. So we have the under 8, and what's there. I took Wake plus 1.5 because Wake's pitcher is also a number 1 pick. So it wasn't that where I would sit here and go, okay, well, this guy is so much better than it. Now he's projected to go 7th to the Reds, but he'll be a top 10 pick. So.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to pitch as long as Skeens, so that'll be the issue tonight. He's only pitching on 3 days rest.
Well, he's
So
got a
you
lot
got
of
Ellis.
ground outs and like 16. No, not 16, but he had like 6 ground outs or something like that.
Oh, yeah, kid's a good pitcher. Don't get it wrong at all. So who got the double? Was that LSU or Wake? I haven't been watching.
Wake.
Yeah, so the biggest question, and this is the
Wake Forest
argument
is
we
on.
had.
Or I'm a little
So
delayed when I talk, so just so.
That's all right. They got everybody jumping ship here. That's what they're showing. I don't like Victor Wembanyama to win Rookie of the Year. I don't. I think he's going to be so good on the defensive end, but he's going to have nights where he's going to miss a lot of shots.
I mean, he
he's
might
going
be
to get
taking
bullied
20 shots a night.
You say, okay, let's say we bet on a lot of Spurs guys. Keldon Johnson's still there. He's still going to take the ball. We still have McLean is there. They let the kid Brantham from last year. We bet on him a lot. You still have Devin Vassell. He's still there. And this is Pop. Pop's not going to turn around and just let him start. But he's going to be able to protect the rim, something they don't have. I mean, he's going to be able to shot block not only at the rim. He will shot block at the 3-point line to the site that guys just haven't seen it at all. So, I mean, scouts, what I would look to when it was there was like, he could be in the paint. The guy's getting ready to shoot the 3. Then by the time he takes the 3, the ball's going behind him. But guys are definitely going to post him up, just like you've seen the videos of Kenny Lofton doing it years ago. But as he gets bigger, it's going to be there. The only question is always with these guys, draft anybody over 7 foot. Better hope he doesn't have any issues with his knees, because big guys generally have an issue. So the Connecticut Sun are off to a nice good start. Mystics are at 7-5. Eight to nothing Mariners.
All right, he got out of it. LSU comes to bat. So, I wanted to say this in all respect, but I'm going back to the old Warriors.
We're going back to the old Warriors.
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, I know you're happy to get rid of Jordan Poole, but to me,
he was it's not that he was bad. Go ahead.
So I think the problem with Poole is he built up a lot of bad. Him being around Steph wasn't going to help his career, because he was going to attempt the crazy shots that Steph takes, thinking that he was going to always go in. The other issue is unless he was there to take over for Steph 2-3 years ago, he's never going to be anything from a Warriors perspective. And to pay him the money they paid him was absolutely crazy. And from a Warriors perspective, everyone's like, well, the Warriors can now go after Draymond Green. The Warriors didn't get any cap relief. They actually added onto their cap by $2 million. What they did is get cap relief in 2024. That's where their cap relief comes. There's no cap relief at all this year at all. There's still a $237 million salary. And that's without Klay Thompson signed. That's with him basically right now your cap hold on Thompson, but his salary is going to be a lot higher. Still think there's moves to make. I just don't know where he plays unless you're going to do with like what I said, where, all right, Chris Paul, you're going to come off the bench. You're going to man the second unit, and you're probably going to finish games.
I'm here. I'm eating, so I got my mic muted, so you guys don't hear it.
That's just the question. I don't know where Chris Paul plays. He can't play in the starting lineup. He just can't.
He went to the Warriors?
Yes.
6-man, maybe?
Well, that's the thing I think makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're paying a 38-year-old guy to play 6-man, okay? Starts to make sense based on the age.
It would probably he's probably at the time in his career when that role fits, because he probably is only gonna be able to, give you 20 minutes a game.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a nice little outside shot. He can still
Without
make
getting
things
hurt.
happen. Yeah, he's just not he's not an outside shooter. So that's the one question also fitting in the Warriors with what they like to do. Because so basically your option is he better than what Ty Jerome gave you last year? The problem is you didn't play Ty Jerome at all in the playoffs. You will play Chris Paul in the playoffs. But still, I think at that point you just went, hey, I can get out of this contract. Okay, let's get out of this contract. And we were stupid enough. And I still think the NBA, when you look at the new rules of the CBA, guys should be getting less, not more. But I think these owners are going to be stupid enough and put themselves in issues where they're going to be given the same deal right there. Like supposedly Jeremy Grant is looking for 5 years, $30 million.
What? Is he going to be cleaning the laundry too?
I don't know. It seems like there's an awful lot of guys that are opting out. I'm assuming they were going to re-sign, but I thought they were going to re-sign for less money, because like Middleton opted out of like 37 million or something ridiculous.
Yeah, he opted out of 40 million, but I think the point for Middleton was he was looking for long stability. He's looking for somebody to give him a 4 or 5 year
Draymond
contract.
did the same thing. He's trying to get a longer contract or what?
I'm not 100% sure Draymond wants to go back to the Dubs. I think Draymond's a smart guy to see the writing on the wall and go. I think he's a smart guy to see the writing on the wall and feel like we're not going to win there. You're going to win in the regular season, but you're not going to win in chip with the way that team is constructed. You have no size. Because right now,
maybe he doesn't think that he's part of the future there.
Well, right now you have an arms race that basically has started. So there's two basically one rumors. And there's one big rumor that I was basically telling the guy from from the Lakers, it can't happen. The way he's saying it, they're talking about it. It just can't happen. It won't happen with the cap. They need to trade something else or get a third team. Is the delusions of grandeur if the Lakers acquire Buddy Hield and Miles Turner for basically a bag of peanuts is what what they're talking about.
Shoe size.
Well, he's 7'5" at 19 years old. I mean, the idea that they're trading Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba to the Pacers because the Pacers don't want to get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I'm trying to figure out, what do the Pacers get from this? They don't want Mo Bamba at $10 million a year. You're not Malik Beasley? No, not at $16 million a year. I'm like, well, if the Pacers are just trying to get rid of him because for whatever reason, because they want to play younger guys, maybe. But you hope that they're not the Wizards and they're not just giving players away. I can see trying to get out of Turner's $20 million deal, but I actually like the Pacers' construction with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, like in trying to compete. But if the Lakers were to acquire those guys for 2 bag of bones guys, that becomes again. Right now, every team right now is trying to do the same thing. How do we compete with Jokic? What do we need? We need a big guy. We need a big guy who can shut Jokic down or at least play with him. Your best defensive big guy in the league got absolutely killed with Anthony Davis. He got absolutely abused by Denver. That whole Denver team is basically coming back together. Bruce Brown opted out, but the idea was basically for him just to turn around and sign. He said winning was more important than money. It was kind of his one quote as he left, which kind of was like, okay, I'll be back. And if he doesn't, there's guys that can pick up stuff like that. So, I mean, that team's for real. That team knows how they know how to win. They've won the regular season for 2 years in a row. Now they know how to win in the playoffs. I mean, the whole game has always been the health of Jamal Murray. And then you still have Michael Porter Jr., which is still an enigma.
I don't know if you're watching ESPN. We almost had some things fly out.
It's still 0-0 game. Right now, you get the live under 3.5 is minus 165. Is he still pitching? I can't believe this guy got Wembanyama in the back of his head. All right, let's see if I can find the CFL game. Got World Axe Throwing on tonight. WNBA basketball. Another WNBA basketball. Wembanyama. He's got Gold Cup action tonight at 8:30. Keep in mind, this will not be the same team that played in the CONCACAF. So the Canadian team, the Mexico team won't be the same guys that just played last week. So keep that in mind when you're betting that for the Gold Cup. River Plate takes the lead. Where is the game? I might have to download the CFL Plus and see if I can watch the game that way.
Possible.
There you go,
There it is, baby. There we go. We're going to have to go. Told you a month ago, as soon as the draft, we got there, even before the lottery was picked, I said, this is who's going to. Brandon Miller, plus 300 cashes for the show, plus 175 cashes. If you saw my things 2 days ago on our Discord. So either way, you should have cashed. I even doubled down again today. I took about minus 200. So Brandon Miller's the pick. Number 2 comes right through. Let's go. Now it is. The next pick will be Scoot Henderson. Oh, let's rock and roll. That's the way we go. By the way, this is the 3rd year in a row that the show has got the number 2 pick at plus money in your pockets. I like Brandon Miller. I like Brandon Miller defensively. I like Brandon Miller. He fits in. There, see, if I was, as soon as they made that pick, I'd be calling Charlotte and going, all right, what do you want from Miles? What do you want from Miles?
Tell me you don't watch college basketball. Stephen A. Smith just said, I was impressed when I saw him go up against South Carolina and dominate. South Carolina was awful. Like, the worst team in the SEC. Like, really bad. I mean, of all the teams, like the only team he could have named that would have been worse there probably would have been Georgia. Also terrible.
Yep.
Tell me you don't watch college basketball.
So Louder's dealing right now. Louder's gone 5 innings, giving up 2 hits all game, 4 Ks. 51% of his pitches have been strikes. Someone get him a pair of pants that fits. Gerardo says he'll be done in an hour. We're getting ready for the 3rd pick. This is where we can have the fun. Like I said, I think 4 is really where the fun is. But there were some grumblings. If Portland is forced to pick this pick, it's going to be there. But it's already been reported by Shams that it will be Scoot Henderson, as we expected. Which is what I also told you to take after you took the Miller pick, that this is Scoot Henderson going 3. I don't know where he fits in a backcourt with Dame Lillard, Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp, but okay, you now have a pass first, get to the rim point guard. Maybe you leave him in the G League for the year. And all this hate against Dame, I'd say Dame is perfectly happy with his family being in Portland. He's perfectly happy living in Portland. He doesn't have to chase the ring to be good. He's still going to be considered a very, very good player.
He's had 10 chances. He's had 10 chances to bolt, and he's stuck it out there. I mean, they're not going to win. They're not going to win with him there, but he's still a really good player.
I mean, it's a question. I mean, Shaden Sharp could be a whole lot better in year 2. He's still a 6'5" point guard who can play the 2. Maybe he puts Anthony Simons. Maybe they move Anthony Simons. That would be the one guy to me. He might be able to pick up and move. The other guys, right. Watford is coming around pretty well. Nurkic is going to be back. Jeremy Grant, I really hope you don't pay him $150 million. To me, that's a guy looking at the old deal, because the way the new CBA rules with this apron and the second apron and how that's going to hammer you and hurt you, you shouldn't even overpay for these guys. This is so funny because ESPN is still talking about, like, what do they do? Portland does. Shams is being an absolute asshole and already said Portland has already selected Scoot Henderson. They've already told him. So all this pop and flare you're saying, what could Portland do at the 3rd pick? Now, quite frankly, they could be grabbing Scoot Henderson and then saying, all right, now we're going to take the next 2 weeks looking for a trade, because he's a guy a lot of people like. All right, Louder in his first kind of issues, but this guy just looks like a popping, all-flash guy. Even I actually think that's DeJuan Walker's haircut too. I'm trying not to ruin the draft, but so far the first 4 picks have went exactly as people projected.
Pretty much.
The books are not going to love that. So the 4th pick is Amen Thompson. The Rockets do make the pick. So I mean, you sit there and you're watching the draft. Now this is where I took Walker here at plus 450. Originally I had Cam Whitmore here. This is either Walker or Assur. He's never going to be a great three-point shooter. This is a guy who's not going to work on his game. I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole.
Who's that? Henderson.
Yeah. I mean, this kid's going to play basketball. He's going to steal the ball, and it's going to be nice in the fast break. But don't show me what he does on a dunk. Every single guy in the league.
Looks like watching this promo kind of looks like the Balls. Kind of got the same vibe as like LaMelo and Lonzo and like the Ball family.
Yeah.
My son is the greatest kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna see that with the next kids. Those are the two guys that went to OTE. I mean, no, I just don't see it. I
So did he not play? Did he not play college then? This G League? Is this the same as this is the NBA G League?
Yeah, you could choose to go in the G League right from high school, and that's what he did. He actually played there for 2 years.
Oh, that's kind of worrisome.
He joined the G League at 17.
So, okay, so he played against, I mean, G League is typically, I mean, kind of like minors, right? NBA minors.
I mean, like the one clip there that was Jason Preston, who was drafted by the Clippers a couple of years ago.
Right.
You have guys in the two-way players, but it's going to be guys that, for the most part, went to college, were drafted probably in the second round, and are playing in the G League, waiting to see if they're playing. Yep. You have two-way players that are going to be playing on both sides. I mean, the best way I've been told, reading different things from scouts, is this kid was going to struggle in college. Not from playing basketball, but from being in college. He's not a tool in the shed. Like, this is I play ball.
Yep.
So, all right, it's 10-0 Mariners. We will say that one's a loss.
Damn.
That's working and that's coming in and make a real impact. Not just the basketball side, but in the community. So they get a such player, a such person. You guys have done a great job of keeping it grounded, although you've been tremendously focused on your own, but you have helped. Chris, now that he steps into the pros, what kind
of is weight challenging here? I think they are, aren't they?
Yeah, that was a good stop right there. Wakes up to bat now.
Oh, look at D on his new little. What the world is that? Do you got a mustache? Oh, that's just a weird. Oh, you've got some kind of black bandana on that.
Oh, that was a ski mask when I went to the Charger game, you had to have a mask on, so I had a Chief ski mask.
Royals take the lead versus the Rays in the 7th. Pirates are up 4-1.
Damn.
You know, I didn't give it out. But I took that Royals. I took the Royals money line plus 290. I also took the plus 2.5.
I mean, it wasn't a bad play with the fact that they were going to bench. You're going to bench. You're going to bench Franco, so the lineup wasn't going to be as strong.
I mean, outside
There's a
of
lot of thoughts to sit there and say, okay, this makes sense.
without looking at any, nothing, looking at the matchups or the lineups or who's pitching or who's playing, plus 290 in baseball is like an auto bet. I mean, it's anybody can win any night. It's it's not likely that they were going to win, but if you're going to give me plus 290, yeah, I'll take it. And that plus 2.5 was minus 110.
Yeah, definitely not a bad bet at all. So we got the Canadian game getting ready to take off soon.
Maybe I'll cash it out.
We're rolling here. You cash out in the Canadian game already?
No, I'm gonna maybe I'll cash out the Royals. I don't trust them to hold it. Let's see what I can get on a cash out.
Some guy named KC Waters is your first pick.
There you go. I'm on Thompson.
Now this is okay. So they've kept the pick.
Drew
So
Waters.
now you're going to go. Yeah, this is another kid. To me, looks like he's a sophomore in high school.
Potentially in this lottery, they dribbled the basketball 2 miles around the track with their left hand every day growing up. They also 5, sometimes 9 miles through the open.
You got a twin brother?
Yeah, his brother's should be drafted next.
Yeah, I was gonna say the brother's gonna get taken here in the next pick or two, probably.
Well, yeah, he won't go past 7. But there is a chance that Detroit doesn't take the brother because they just drafted Jaden Ivey. So unless they're going to play the brother, I mean, the one thought is you can play the brother at the 3. But again, you've got 3s that are also on the team. So, I mean, who knows what Detroit's doing here. There's also talk that this could be a trade where they take Oscar Thompson, and Oscar Thompson ends up going to Toronto for Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how these guys are open court athletes. What that means is you can run fast and you can jump. That makes you an open court athlete. That doesn't do anything in the NBA. Every single guy is an open court athlete.
Yeah, I mean, if they were playing against me, it'd be different. Like you're playing against other guys that are also athletic. Yeah,
but I mean, to me, I'm like, so what you're saying is the guy excels when there's not a lot of guys around to look for it. I hate that. It's almost a fair thing. He's an athlete, which means he can't shoot. Now, his brother is the better shooter. He's the playmaker of the two. But he looks so small. Yeah, you got paid $100,000 to go play a basketball game for the last 2 years.
How bad could it be?
It's interesting. Players can also choose a scholarship option and maintain college eligibility. Means you're not paid the $100,000. Company provides health and disability insurance and sets aside $100,000 in college scholarship money for each player if they decide not to pursue professional basketball afterwards. They do have an academic program featuring a 4:1 student-teacher ratio and a curriculum offering traditional high school subjects alongside life-skilled subjects. Kevin Ollie is one of the coaches that have signed on in 2021 as first head coach and head of player development. Al Gasol, Carmelo Anthony, and Jay Williams are on the Overtime Elite Board of Directors. Apparently, Amazon Prime Video streams all 20 live Overtime Elite games per season.
Really?
In September 22, Overtime Elite announced their expansion to 6 teams. Team OTE, Team Overtime was rebranded as the City Reapers at YMG and Hearts High School, Hillcrest Prep. High school teams, Hillcrest Bruins, Our Savior, Lutheran Falcons, and Word of God, Holy Rams joined to Overtime Elite for the second season. In the same month, Overtime Elite announced a 90-game schedule with non-league games against Bryce and Bronny James, Cameron Boozer, and Jared McClain.
What up, Ben?
What's up, Ben? Yeah, we were talking.
Hey, Ben.
No problem. I'm so happy I got you. You write it in fantasy baseball, so you can beat me this week. Just want to.
Yeah, you reminded him. You got him back into it right when he was playing me, I think.
Yeah, but I've been on him in some private chats here saying I don't know why you have this guy. Let's move some guys to IR, kind of deal, stuff like that. So, yeah. So, all right, Austin Thompson is the pick. So, Amen and Austin Thompson go 4 and 5.
That is
under 5.5 at plus 300. I will take it.
That's a what?
that is probably the only time that we'll ever see that. Twins go back to back. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty special.
It's twins that nobody really knows anything about. So, like I said, I also gave this. If you looked at, so if you go to the draft, Austin Thompson under 5.5 plus 230. It was a nice pick. He was going 5th or he's going 6th, so I took him at a plus 130 to go 6. So I still end up making a unit out of it. So,
It's so crazy though, because you've got all these kids now. I mean, obviously, Wembanyama doesn't count, but now you've got all these kids that are coming through that have played in these prep leagues. It's like, do we really know? Do we really know if they're, if they're any good? Of course, I mean, I guess if they played at if they played, if they played in college, it's not like, there's only like 40 good, 30 or 40 good college teams. So, it's not like they're playing against NBA quality talent in college every night. I mean, a handful of times they are, but the majority of the time they're not.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question again in this is the talent that he was playing against. Was he a man against boys? Because he was the MVP. Are more guys going to do this? Because to me, if I was a guy and I was going to a borderline team and I knew I could just go to do this, make $100,000 and not worried about school, and I'm just going to play against
Yep.
guys that should be better than. Why not? And then you're going to hype up your plays. Rays tied up in the bottom of the 7th.
Damn
3-3 game.
it. Damn it. I should have cashed it out. Should have cashed it out.
You told me you were going to cash it out. Marlins had bases loaded here with no outs in the bottom of the 8th. Down 4-1.
I mean, it's no different. Them doing this is no different than it's basically like trade school.
It's
you're
like the guys who
going
went overseas and things of that nature, where you basically go, all right, well, I'm just going to go play in Australia for a while. Yeah.
Well, instead of going to college, you go to you go to a trade school or whatever, and you learn welding or electrical or pipe, whatever. You do that instead of going to college. So I mean, I guess it's basically the same thing as that. It's just, I don't know. I guess we'll see, because now you're gonna have more and more of these kids coming in that haven't been through college.
What do you mean the Ball brothers? What Ball brothers?
They weren't back to back, and they weren't twins.
What brother? The LaMelo was picked like the 3rd pick, is the 2nd pick overall, the 3rd pick in the draft, and his brother was a free agent.
I thought they were.
Are you sure?
Yeah. There was one good one and then 2 crappy ones.
Well, I mean, Lonzo, technically back-to-back years they were picked. Lonzo.
Yeah, I'm talking back-to-back picks, like same draft.
Right.
So that's what I cashed on Sir Thompson.
You got me on that one.
Under 5.5 at plus 230, and to be the 5th overall pick at plus 375. So you add that up with the Brandon Miller, and so far this is coming out to a very, very nice draft.
Yeah, you always do real well in NFL and the NBA draft, for sure.
I love the draft more than anything else, because it's about reading information and having the right sources, and you kind of make it. That's
Sure.
it. 4-3. Marlins are down by 1 run now. Nope. Marlins are up 2 runs.
Did you take the Marlins?
I took the Marlins and the Rays in a parlay. Rays got 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
Oh, I got you.
I don't like this pick. I don't like this guy. I don't think he's a very good basketball player.
Damn. Harsh words.
I said I don't like this pick, but I did take this.
How are you feeling in this moment? I'm super excited. I don't see anything like this, so it feels nice to make it.
So I've hit the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th pick. Well, I didn't really hit the 1st. I didn't really want to throw $60,000 to make $300, but yeah. So I didn't like this. I didn't believe it was going to happen, but I took it anyway because the value was too good not to take it. So the 6th pick is Anthony Black, guard from Arkansas. Basically, the guy you never heard of watching Arkansas all year. All you heard of everything was Nick Smith. And
right.
This guy would eventually, some guys do stuff. He looks like a Brittany Griner lookalike.
You can't hold that against him.
I don't see this guy as a great player. I just don't. I mean, I don't know a guy seeing this. I mean, to me, the ball handling is flimsy. Even with like that dribble right there, you saw the top of the dribble was almost basically a carry, dribbling too high. Okay. Yes, I agree. He's a very good defender. But if you're the Magic, you now have drafted Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony. You played Franz Wagner at the point guard, which I actually think was a great move. It actually played very well there. And now you drafted another guy. Now, the one advantage of Anthony Black to the other two aforementioned guys is that Anthony Black is 6'7". You're going to hear that a lot in this draft, that the guy is 6'7", because almost every single damn guy in this draft is 6'7". The difference is some guys play point guard and other teams are trying to play the 6'8" guy at power forward. Look at his brother. Is this his agent or his mom?
What's that?
Is this his agent or his mom?
When they were interviewing on the couch?
Yeah.
That's the mother. Yeah, that's the mother, and the guy in the blue suit is an older brother, I think. It said.
Didn't I think that's. I mean, but why was the mom touching the inside of the leg? See, yeah, your mom shouldn't be touching your knee. Even the kid looked down at the mom's hands. I mean, she was just massaging his inner thigh a second ago. I was like, didn't she learn anything at the NFL draft? This is going to be a meme you're going to see all day tomorrow. All right, so we've got the Rays up 5-3 now. We've got the Marlins up 6-4, and we got the Maryland squad kicking the crap out of it. All right, so we do have a start in the Winnipeg game here. Indiana Pacers. This is an interesting pick. Yes, under 11.5. But one pick too early. If it was picked 8, that was plus 4,000. There's the under 11.5. Koulibaly. This is a pick to stash.
All right.
This is basically Indiana saying, we're going to leave this kid in France next year. This kid's not going to play. This kid is 6'8" 2 guard. Once I said, you're going to hear this again. A lot of people were saying he was a riser coming up to the end of the draft. That's why we took the under 11.5. That cashes. We do miss my mega ticket at plus 4,000 for him to be picked 8th. Shit. That was the one thing I don't like. But it's fine. So Koulibaly gets picked here. This is a guy who was supposed to be in the 2024 draft, decided to come into this draft. Most people believe he was a top 5 pick if he comes out next year. There's big talk that he may stay in France for another year. He's got great size, obviously, at 6'8", but the kid can really shoot. Played really well versus the USA basketball. Was able to stretch the floor. He's been playing in a league with men in the France league at 18 years old. Massive wingspan. This is a very interesting pick with having Mathurin, because you've got Halliburton, you've got Mathurin, 6'8". He can come in and play the 3. So he looks small in that picture, but you got to remember Wembanyama is 7'5". Every picture when guys stand next to Wembanyama, they look like they're a little tiny 5'10" guy. He's 6'8" in that picture. I knew he had a chance to go under 11.5. I had him at the Wizards here. So we cashed the under 11.5 ticket. That goes pretty easily, to be honest with you. Really pissed I missed my retirement picked by the Wizards here at plus 4,000, but it's all right. I will take that. All right, the Rays aren't done. Still 2 men on out. So, Winnipeg strikes first. They get a field goal to start the game. 3-0.
Let's get some points. Let's get some points. Come on.
Let's go. We want points.
I just saw a tweet, and it was about Ohtani having whatever 10 strikeouts or 12 strikeouts or whatever. And somebody commented and said, this would be like if Mahomes went out and scored 3 touchdowns and then had 3 sacks in the same game.
For what he's putting up, he's absolutely unreal.
Indiana
All right, we are
trading.
Are they trading Koulibaly?
Indiana is trading their pick, and you can only guess to who. Yep.
Oh no! To the team that to the Wizards. Who was the one that you bet?
Yep, for plus 4,000.
Well, I mean, you can take solace in knowing that you had the right call. Yeah, you made the right call.
That sucks.
Was Washington the next pick?
Yeah, this is going to cash my Jarris Walker over 6.5 though. So yeah, this will give me my Jarris Walker, which allows me to walk away of my Walker at 5. So that's fine. Yeah, it sucks. But I thought they were going to take Koulibaly and they're going to stick him in France for a year. Then you'll come back. Well, let's talk about the trade. So technically, Washington didn't do bad in that trade. So KP told them to find him a team or he was opting out. So you knew you weren't going to get much back for him when that happened. Somehow they were able to get a starting point guard, high-quality starting point guard. Sorry, Tyus Jones, everybody said was the best backup point guard in the league. He's going to get a chance to play as a starter. I think he's a very high-quality point guard. Then you're going to get Jordan Poole, who we all know has talent. How he's going to do having 9,000 shots now, this will be very interesting. I might take Poole's points over every night, just telling you right now, and his turnovers. But he's got a strong chance here to do pretty well. So Bradley Beal gave him 3 teams. 2 of the teams said they weren't really interested. And so he only had 1 place to go. A little interesting that his agent is the son of the Phoenix Suns owner. It's a little sketch. So he ends up going to Phoenix. And they basically end up getting Jordan Poole out of it. So I don't feel like they did that. They didn't get any good first-round picks or any of that stuff. But they weren't in a spot where they could hold any of these guys for ransom. So, so a couple other bets I took. Non-NCAA players drafted over 7.5. We've already had 4. So I need 4 more to go. So I need some international guys to go. So, but I'm halfway there, which I'll take. And Jarris Walker goes 8th. Okay, so all right. Still should have had my plus 4,000. That sucks. Jarris Walker is the guy that fits in really well for Indiana, by the way. He's probably your best power forward. He obviously played at Houston, played really well in the tournament. With back to the basket player. We'll see what's going. So far the draft is going almost exactly as I expected it to go. There's been absolutely the only hiccup essentially was there. So this is going to be interesting. So here's 9. So 9 is Utah. Utah, basically, a lot of people like Taylor Hendricks to go to this pick. This is a spot where Grady Dick could actually go in this pick as well. This could also be a chance where a lot of people talked about they could move down. So Koulibaly was one of the guys also kind of, they said they had their eye on. Kobe Buffkin, they did work out for Utah. who will be a future star in your opinion? I would say Wembanyama, Brandon Miller. You don't know about the Thompsons because you don't know the quality of competition that they played. That's going to be the bigger question. I think Jarris Walker is Jeremy Grant kind of deal. I don't think he's a star, but I think he's going to be a very, very solid player in the NBA. I still think Grady Dick and Jordan Hawkins has a chance to be a very, very good player, like a Buddy Hield type guy. Tremendous shooter who can get things done. We all know I'm not high at Scoot Henderson or Anthony Black. I think both of those are reaches. Taylor Hendricks is never going to be a star because he's never going to score enough. But he's going to be a solid player. One guy that could be is Derek Lively. Derek Lively could end up being a very, very good center in this draft. And I have different ratings. I have different ratings when we look at stars. So I don't say give guys star, superstar really, really quickly. You really got to earn it for me. I don't think we have a lot of superstars in the league. I think there are a ton of stars. I think a lot of guys go, oh, they scored 20 points. They're a superstar. In the regular season, scoring 20 points is not that difficult. We see that when we take Keldon Johnson and Lonnie Walker to score that many points.
And there's also you've got these guys that are generally going to bad teams. So guys that go to bad teams can usually do, they can make the stat sheet can look pretty good if you're playing on a team with a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, someone has to score the basketball. You're scoring 100 points. Someone is going to score the basketball. It's why are all of the times when you sit there, you look like a Keldon Johnson, or you look like a Lonnie Walker, who his first round pick looked like he had potential. The Lakers didn't even play him in the playoffs. He never saw the floor, ever. Kind of was telling. So he still has a long way to go. So Lions score. That's the touchdown. Vernon Adams. We get 2 pass interference calls, and it's 7-3 Lions. So that's 10 points already. It's also the Lions up 4.
Let's go.
So good for our teaser. So that's going well. LSU Wake Forest has decided to play the lowest college scoring baseball game of all time. We have 0-0.
Oh no, it's crazy game right now.
LSU is now minus 130.
You got
Remember,
2-1 for Wake. Pitcher is at 116 pitches. Runners on the corners, 1 out.
That's the craziest thing. They let
He
those guys
bunted.
throw like
He got him. He's out. They tried to squeeze and it didn't work. The guy on first threw it straight home and got him out. Live play-by-play by D Money.
Yeah, they let the guys go absolutely crazy in the number of pitches. Like, to me, the Texas coach should have been fired versus Miami when he let his guy throw 125 pitches. It's being replayed, by the way. This is not yet. We do have a VAR decision here. Remember, Paul Skeens is looking really nice at 116 pitches. I mean, if you're his family, he's out. Does he miss him? The question is, does he actually hit him with the tag or does he strike out? You can't see from that angle. I think he's out, but you need an angle where you can actually see him place the tag. All right, here we go. Yeah, he placed the tag. And right on this side. That was too easy. Not even sure why you're doing that. That's an out. That was a big play by the first baseman. All one motion, kind of jumping down. BC up 7-3. Top of the 8th. The Royals are challenging here. Rich, you're not dead yet. 2 men on, 1 out. Who's pitching? Is this Colin Poche? Jason Adam. He's got 2 strikes on the next guy. He needs a big strikeout here.
I mean, both of their bullpens are bad, so it's really anybody's shot here at this point.
I don't think the Rays bullpen is that bad. I mean, Colin Poche has started to pitch really well. I mean,
I think I have them 20th or something.
Yeah, but I think you got to take out the middle relievers. When I look at the bullpen, I'm looking at the last 3 guys. I'm looking at Adam, Fairchild, and Poche. That's probably your 3.
No, actually, I've got them 7th the last 2 weeks. So that's good.
What a catch!
Like I said, I didn't even dig into the numbers on that game because I knew there was no way I was going to be able to get on the Rays, and then I saw the price on KC, and I'm like, oh, let's just take a shot.
All right, Taylor Hendricks is the pick at 9.
So they traded. So the trade was Walker for Koulibaly. Walker and two future second rounders for Koulibaly.
I know, Rich, you're tired of seeing this, but here's another one for you. Now, I did have 2 guys picked here, so I only made plus 350, but I'll take it. It's going to be a nice night for me, folks. It's going to be a nice night.
Where's Grady Dick going?
This is the question.
Got to be going pretty soon, huh?
Well, this is the question with the Mavs. Are the Mavs keeping this pick? That if they keep this pick, or do they pick, or do they trade down another guy? This is one of the interesting picks that you're looking at here, because Derek Lively is a full possibility here, because he would make the most sense if you're looking at a team. They have no size. He's got huge upside potential. He's 7'1". He's agile. He can run the floor. If you're going to stay with that same offense, though, Grady Dick here is massive, because you sit there and you shoot threes all day. Grady Dick is a Christian Braun who could shoot from the outside. And Grady Dick only played 1 year at Kansas. Prolific scorer in this first 1 year, which is what you really want. Your freshman getting 17 points a game. Rays get it out. 2 men on.
OKC is going to acquire Carson, or Kaysen, I should say. Kaysen Wallace from Dallas.
So Dallas takes Kaysen Wallace. Okay, so that's what he's saying. So Dallas is taking Kaysen Wallace, and they're immediately trading to OKC.
Yeah.
So the Mavericks are trading the number 10 pick and Davis Bertans to the Thunder. So the Thunder are moving up here to 10, which, by the way, I do have over 8 trades, and we might get over 8 trades before the 15th pick. Bases loaded for the Royals.
Right.
2 outs. So the Mavericks are moving. This is the question where they're moving to. So what their Mavericks are doing is they're getting out of the Davis Bertans contract. And moving him to OKC. And Dallas is taking Kaysen Wallace, the point guard out of Kentucky. I'm not strong on this guy. I don't really like this guy. I don't think he had a really great year last year. But from a Dallas perspective, you just got rid of a $17 million contract for the next 2 years. By dropping down 1 pick. And that seemed like a no-brainer for them.
For who, the Mavs?
Yes.
Oh.
So the Mavs shed $17 million in salary to a guy who really didn't see the floor that much. All right, 0-2 count here. Bases loaded for the Royals. 0-2 count. 175 hitter up. Jason Adam is at 23 pitches.
They didn't have anybody else they could have put in to hit. Like, literally anybody else.
We're still scoreless in LSU.
Oh, they got a run. Oh, they tied it.
Now? Are you watching Stephen A. Smith do the draft? Yeah, the Royals are tied. It's 5-5.
Oh, let's see if I can cash out now. I didn't cash out last time because they weren't.
That's what I'm saying. Cash out because I'm taking the Rays.
Let's see if I can cash out.
All right. Got 3 minutes left in the first quarter. We got 10 points in the first there. Big sack there by BC Lions. Royals are down -1.5. Royals are -115. Still got runners on at the corners, 2 outs.
Yeah, it's locked now.
LSU is threatening here. Line's down to 3.5 right now. Total still at 54.5. Looking for our opportunities here. Man, if you're Dallas, you got to love this. You shed $17 million off the salary for a guy who didn't play. Does that really change your salary cap space from them? Yeah, they go to -62.
I was gonna say Dallas has kind of got a mess to begin with. Oh, I'm not cashing this out. They're not even gonna double up my. Get out of here.
The other thing that also, I mean, the Royals are plus 140 now. That's the end of the inning. 5-5. Rays are at -175. Plus 1.5 is -585. You can take the Yankees if you want at plus 9.5 at plus 125.
Pass.
Got a lot of value. And the Yankees score a run. You can take the Yankees plus 10 at -140.
Can they keep Seattle from scoring?
Possibly. LSU's threatening here. Here's my question. Why in Dallas did you trade? Sorry, OKC, this makes sense. You pick Kason Wallace. You're taking a point guard because your questions of how long-term you're going to keep Josh Giddey. Maybe that makes sense. Okay. I see this guy as another can't shoot point guard. They're good. You gotta love the way that they love to say. So this guy to me is not any different than Hamidou Diallo that you could probably go sign for like $4 million. I don't think he has a good outside shot. He's got to be able to play point guard for them, but they already have a guy that can play point guard, and they already have a very good 2 guard. I don't see why you took this on. I mean, I'm not even sure why you took on Davis Bertans' contract. This could be Grady Dick, though. I mean, I was thinking Grady Dick was going to go because basically by adding Davis Bertans, added it at $17 million. So I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's at 33 million. Dortz is at 15 million. I mean, to me, what's the difference if Davis Bertans at this age or Pokusevski? This was the guy I said I would have missed the bet if you took the other order. I was thinking that Hawkins was going to get picked for 4K on Wallace, but didn't happen. So far, the DC.
It's so funny. It's so funny watching these like NBA players, like just the crazy tall dudes wearing like street suits or street clothes or whatever, because they look so ridiculous. Like it just looks so crazy, especially when they're around normal sized people. Like watching, they showed Wembanyama walking up to Adam Silver, and he looked like a normal person that had been just like stretched out. He looked like they took a normal person and just stretched him out.
I mean, I just keep loving these pantsuits that basically come up to about their ankle.
It's so
none
crazy.
Of these guys want to wear socks without loafers here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the generation where all of my pants were dragging on the ground, like the pant legs were all dragging on the ground. Like that was kind of in. Now nobody wants to get their, everybody wants to show off their socks or I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it's so funny because if you look at Wembanyama when he's sitting on this couch, and dude is so tall that his freaking knees are like up at his knees are up at like a 40-degree angle going up because the couch is so low compared to how tall he is.
Holy
it's so crazy.
cow! Jet Howard got selected number 11. No, this is a reach. If you guys want to know what I think about it, this guy was going to be picked in the top 20. This guy's a reach. Your claim to fame is your Juwan Howard's kid. I mean, that's your claim to fame here. This is not. This is a reach. This kid should have been picked in the 19s. This is a terrible pick by OKC. Sorry, by the Magic.
Where did he play? Howard?
Michigan.
Oh.
I mean, he gets drafted because he shoots threes 37%. I mean, no. This is a terrible pick. It's a terrible pick by the Magic. I mean, Juwan's got to be happy. I mean, but
my mind is very satisfied. Victor, it's been a pleasure covering you. We look forward to seeing what happens next. By the way, I know you know the backstory about the Spurs.
All right, we lose the Grady Dick pick. Sorry, guys. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
He get picked next.
No, I said. Well, no, I said Dallas is either taking Grady Dick or they're taking Derek Lively. So they trade back 2 picks and they take Derek Lively. Derek Lively's next. So, no, I don't see anything from this kid. I see this kid as another Jag. There's nothing that screams this kid is special.
Such a stable and loving family. And being healthy, I know many people.
Playing against Big Ten competition, let's face it, the Big Ten wasn't really good in basketball.
My first going to be very soon too when the Summer League draft approaches on ESPN, and we will have your first game, of course. Cannot wait for that matchup. That's coming up July 7th against the Hornets and then against the Blazers over on ESPN.
Oh, someone turn that down.
On a remarkable historical night. Thank you so much.
Is that you, D, or is that Rich? Rich, is that you or D?
We continue here on ABC.
Rich, turn your TV down just a little. Yeah, it doesn't have to go all the way down.
I muted. I actually didn't have it up. We'll just turn it down a bit.
Somebody's TV's blaring. We got a 7-3 game. It's the first time we've got the line about the flip here to Blue Bombers. We're still above our total. Still no score. Derek Lively's going to be picked here by Dallas. Yeah, you could have picked this guy to be picked in the top 20 at plus 200. This guy shouldn't have been picked. And it kills my plus 225 ticket on Derek Lively. Derek Lively gets picked. He just doesn't get picked where I wanted him to go. Oh. But it's another trade, so that's our 5th trade. Made 3 more here in the next 19 picks here. All right, we got the Yankees threatening here. 2 men on, 1 out. Top of the 9th we go.
Yeah, it's under the review for the Yankees game. It could be a home run.
That's good. My plus 9.5 will look nice. For the end of the quarter, the BC Winnipeg game. Got a huge pass interference call that's going to set up Winnipeg here in the second quarter. Your live line on the game is Winnipeg minus 1.5. Total still at 49.5. Was into the 50s for a while. No one wants to score an LSU Wake. Now, Wake has the better overall pitching staff. But LSU's got 2 men on here, threatening here, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. LSU has the better overall offense. So. Louder went 7 innings. We are into the Wake bullpen. One guy comes in with the 2. The next guy comes in with the 2 ERA. Uh-oh. That might be, nope. That's the one thing about with taking the unders in Omaha. You really got to crush the ball to hit a home run. It just doesn't happen. And the books still give you 8, 11.5, 12.5. And Wake gets out of it. We go to the top of the 9th. Massey comes in, gets 2 outs. Paul Skeens is going to eventually have to leave this game, which is why everybody was on him. But he's gone 8 innings. He's pitched 120 pitches. At one point, does you have a father come back down and say, look, my kid's going to be the first-round pick. I want to win, but come on. We got the Sun kicking the shit out of the Lynx, 58-39. We win the first half bet. pretty easily, by the way. We win the Wizard Mystics first half bet as well. They won the first quarter 25-9. They lose the second quarter by 3, but we got the Mystics up 14 right now going into the third quarter. Flamengo is down 1. Unfortunately, Rumia has already won early. River Plate won 3-1. Top of the ninth, we got the Royals with the runner on. Pete Fairbanks is in. Fairbanks comes in with a 1.35 ERA. He walks the first guy, though. All right, we are into pick number what? This is Dallas just picked a 12.
Oh, he stole second.
Yeah, runner on, runner scoring position now. Yeah, Claris is having issues being protected here in this BC game. BC getting sacks. That's tough to do when you only get 3 downs. And it sucks in the NFL when you get a sack, but you get a sack in CFL, and it's almost a guaranteed punt.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wake comes on. Oh, good play by the second baseman. Gets the first out of the inning.
Damn, he stole again?
Yep, he got the third. 1 out. No, it was a sacrifice at first. Moved the runner over.
It looked like he Witt struck out.
Oh, I thought it was okay. My book said it was there. Okay, yeah, he did steal third. Yeah, Bobby Witt. FanDuel have this game? All right, go back to the draft. Sorry. This is Derek Lively. I mean, Lively to me is a good pickup for Dallas. Like I said, he's the guy that makes the most sense. He's a 7-1 big guy who's got a chance to continue to be really, really good and continue to develop on a team that lacks size. So. 2 outs now for the Rays. Still can't get them home yet. BC Lions are now your new favorite in this game.
There we go. Well, we still need some points.
It's 10-3. They get a field goal. They're up 7. This is our Kobe Buffkin chance right here. So, by the way, we took Buffkin over 12.5. This is basically what we're looking at right here. So, we're already at pick 13. So, as long as Buffkin gets picked in the next hour, we're going to cash that. So, but I told you to take Buffkin 13 because this is who I think that Toronto's taking.
He got out
He's
of it.
not.
Oh, he did not get out of it. Wow.
Is he out of home?
No, it was a base hit or a bloop to, I guess, first base, and couldn't make the play at first base. The pitcher missed the ball, and it was all bad.
Oh, it's 6'5". Yep. Scoot can't shoot. Scoot can get to the rim, get to the hole, and he's going to a team that has 4 guards. He's not the real beast of the draft. Scoot is DeJuan Wagner 2.0. Could he be a solid NBA guy? Yeah. I mean, he could be Derrick Rose for 1 or 2 years, or like John Morant for 1 or 2 years, but he's never going to develop a shot. His mechanics are off. It's not going to be good. He's never going to be a guy worthy to be picked in the top 3 picks. So, what was I trying to do? Oh, sorry, Chris. Let's try to go live. Where's live? Yeah, British Columbia is now live. Yeah, you can watch Scoot at all. It'll be exciting to watch, but he's not going to be anything different. And we're about to cash a plus 164 here on Buffkin. Scoot played against inferior players and inferior competition. Can he steal the ball? Can he be great in the open court? Yes, he can. But that's it. Teams are going to back off on him. He's basically Russell Westbrook. That would be his ceiling as Russell Westbrook, which wouldn't be bad. But I don't think he's a superstar. I don't take guys who can't shoot. That's just me personally. That's kind of where I think. I was like, I don't think you're going to turn out to be anything if you can't shoot the basketball in the game that you play. Yep. Come on. Let's go. We already cashed the Buffkin pick. We know we've cashed that. No, they take Grady Dick because Grady Dick wasn't supposed to be there. Damn it. All right. So if we took Buffkin at 13, didn't work. Grady Dick, we lose that one, which we said. I like Grady Dick. I think Grady Dick's going to be a solid player in the NBA. Do really think that Grady Dick needs to get a new Taylor. Who decided to go with Sequence Red? Maybe he's making more of a statement, if you know what I mean. This could be his coming out party. I got to hear Rich's thoughts on these red.
The red suit?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the one that's been popping up the most. I think the red stands out. I think Henderson's suit was the flashiest. It had all the
bedazzled and all the
bedazzled gems or whatever on it.
Yep. So the Yankees get no runs that inning? No runs. a home run that went through review, and in the end, it ended up getting no runs, 0. All right, we got a 10-3 game here in Winnipeg. BC Lions defense might be for real. I think Grady Dick is probably your best value that's been picked here. This is a guy who should have been picked in the top 10. Not just because I had a pick for him to be picked in the top 10. He's going to be an outstanding shooter from the outside.
Yeah.
He's got good size. He's only going to continue to get better on his handle. Hopefully he gets better on his wardrobe choices as well, because that just I don't know how you look in the mirror and said, the fact that you went with a red bedazzled shirt underneath it. The only thing worse than I'll let you finish.
He went with a
No, I was
throwdown.
gonna say.
That's what he said.
He's blinding me right now.
No, I was gonna say. He played against basically. I mean, the best competition in out of all these guys, pretty much night in and night out. I mean, the Big 12 was the toughest conference in college basketball, and if you're talking about the toughest conference in college basketball, and college basketball being the top, kind of the top source for NBA talent, he's played against it, and he's played in. I don't know. Is anybody going to these Ignite overtime elite or anybody go to those games? Because playing at Kansas and playing in all those arenas, I mean, you've got huge crowds every night, so huge stage. So I mean, he's probably the most NBA ready player. Was Wembanyama playing in? Was he playing in the Euro League?
He infield single. My bad.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. They shut down the cash out, so I couldn't cash out. So we're just gonna ride it.
Oh no!
All right, we get the Pelicans here. So the Mavs, by trading Davis Bertans in this deal, get a $17 million trade exception. That's what they're trying to use that for. All right. New Orleans is going to take Jordan Hawkins. I like Hawkins. The only question with Hawkins is what a lot of people wonder, if he's hit his ceiling. Like, where's his room for improvement? Hawkins is a very good two-way scorer. Kind of equate him to kind of a he's not as explosive as Alani Walker, but he's got a very nice outside shot. Obviously, we saw him in the NCAA tournament. What's the what?
Called him out. They called him out.
And where?
In the Tampa Bay game. There, he was clearly safe.
Oh, and his ground out the third for Diaz? I wasn't watching.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. It looks like Shams and Woj are basically posting the same exact thing. See, Cam Whitmore was considered a top 5 pick and has dropped all the way down to 15. someone's going to move up to try to come into them. We've got one out here in Tampa Bay trying to hold on. Down one, the Royals. UFC on Saturday starts at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Oh, that's great. We are in the top of the 10th. Paul Skeens is officially
there's a
done
base
for the
hit.
game.
There we go. Luke Rayleigh.
Not to be fair with Jake Rayleigh. All right.
So how's
Every
the
time
fantasy league looking?
What do you mean? For football?
Yeah, have we
We gotta
even
start
got there yet?
No, we got to start recruiting in July. Make sure we've got the.
I'm just gonna let you guys know I'm gonna be kind of busy. I got the baby coming in October, so.
To start a fantasy
But
football league, you make one adjustment a week.
No, I'm not worried about me. I'm just saying I'm worried about getting everything set up because things are gonna get busy for me, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. Been there, done that.
I mean, I will have
Appreciate it.
plenty of time on my
It'll be
hands to
good
get
for
on
you.
my phone, but I just rather give you the
I
benefit
appreciate it.
of the yes, sir.
I understand. Yes. Congratulations again. Yep.
Yeah, his name is gonna be Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. I think we've got enough guys from the Discord league to do fantasy football. I think the family league, I gotta recruit somebody. My brother's dropping out, so I've got to go.
I might have somebody replace that.
Okay, all right. So yeah,
family only though, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I opened up every year. I ask a couple different people from outside to come join because the family's different. You've got different guys who could do it. I mean, I've got guys I asked for the family in there. You were in it last year, so yeah, it was a good league.
I was overall in it 2 years.
Yep. Haven't won it yet though. But yeah. Sorry.
What about the basketball? I know Rich does basketball. I mean,
well, we got a while for that. I wouldn't mind doing a basketball league. It's been years since I did.
I love basketball.
If we do basketball, the only way to do basketball is just like baseball with an auction draft because there's still guys. What?
No.
You don't like it because you don't like it.
Dude, no. Now listen. That freaking baseball auction draft took forever.
It will. It will, but it makes the most competitive league.
No, it doesn't. Obviously, because I'm not winning, so that's a problem. This freaking auction it's making me work too hard to win. I normally don't have to work this hard to win.
I'm aware of it. You definitely are working a lot harder to win. I will give you that. So
I got after about the 4th week, I started a spreadsheet keeping track of all my stats, all my players, all my categories. I'm like,
it does that for you.
Spreadsheet?
You know it does it. Yeah, you know it does that for you, right?
I'm not even kidding.
You know it does that for you, right?
I'm sure you're not.
I want to visualize. I want to have a visual representation of my stats and my team.
Visualization.
Yeah,
I know that. I can show you where it does that, and you can print it out.
Yeah,
you can literally download it to Excel.
I know you can export. You can export to CSV. I saw that.
Yeah.
But I've got conditional formatting set up and a pivot table on the stats and everything. So
I will say Oriole players are going to be harder to come by now.
Yeah,
I'm just going to give you that thing right now. Oriole players are going to be harder to come by, not just because they're winning, but if you didn't watch, first thing Jack did is basically scoop up all the Oriole guys he could get.
Well, that's. I mean, I check
It
the
doesn't really phase
waivers.
me.
I check the
What?
waivers pretty regularly, but I do.
That's
I'm doing I'm doing the fantasy baseball the same way I do my MLB capping. So I'm only going back 2 weeks on stats. So, I mean, if somebody's got numbers for the whole season that look great, but they've sucked the last 2 weeks, they're not going to pop on my numbers.
Yeah. You definitely sometimes have to go with who's hot, who's not.
Yep.
Because there's guys who have the stats, but for a month haven't done shit.
Yep. I noticed that when I looked at my team, when I started tracking all the stats and everything, and I looked at my team, and I'm like, everybody looks good. And then I looked at my team, and I switched it to the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, well, all my guys are hitting, 200 or worse the last 2 weeks. So, maybe that's what's going on. Cumulatively, the stats look good, but, doesn't really matter recently.
The BC Lions defense looks for real. They're going to hold the team to 3 points.
Yeah. When you said that before the game started, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they are for real. Probably the better play probably would just take BC with the points.
Yeah. It's not over yet.
Yeah, maybe they make adjustments in half.
Well, maybe we can get to 20. We have a chance to get to 20 here.
Oh, I thought the first half was over.
No, not yet. It's close. So here we cashed the Kobe Buffkin over 12.5. That cashes at plus money. We got the bottom of the 11th in the game. I assume the Rays lost, right? Yep, they lost 6-5.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
All right.
Terrible. He gave it 4 runs in the last 3 innings. Bob wants to know if I know anything. Nope. Sorry. I'm trying to bet on an Icelandic 2 league. So Kobe Buffkin goes. Another guy who, all these guys look like high school kids. Probably because they're 18 years old. Maybe it's because they're just wearing too big of a suit. And it looks like
their clothes are so ridiculous looking. Like they look like they're wearing. None of them fit. Like none of the. I have not seen one suit that looks like it actually fits nicely.
Yeah.
But maybe
that's
the style. Yeah, maybe that's the style. But they look ridiculous.
We get another field goal here from Winnipeg. It's 10-6.
All right, that's 16
points. Yep, 16. It's not out of the points. Like I said, we're going to get second half over.
How much time is left in the first half?
I think there's 12 seconds.
Oh, all right. So that's probably all. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Stranger things have happened, I'm sure.
Well, Winnipeg has scored 30 points over the second half the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So there is that. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen again this game, but we'll see. This kid's like, oh, please don't talk to me.
Bob, I don't know if he's in. I don't know what league that is for soccer.
It's an Icelandic 2 league. So it's a second level league.
Gerardo's got some UFC for us.
All right, so let me see what Gerardo has UFC, because I need to pick something for if it's too
Jacksonville.
early.
So that's East Coast is still going to be on at noon? Huh.
No, it's in Asia, right?
Oh, he says UFC Jacksonville. Or is that that's not this Saturday? That's a different one, maybe.
Is it really going to be in? If it's in Jacksonville, I'd be shocked if it's at 11:30.
Yeah, I would.
No, it is.
So.
It is.
Oh.
The final Emmett versus Tapura is at 4:50 in the afternoon.
That's weird.
Yeah, they wanted to get out early. I mean,
nobody's watching UFC. I don't think, except for people betting it. I think that's the issue.
Well, I won
UFC's
100%.
completely lost all their draws.
I think it's been a little too expensive, and people found other ways to watch it without paying for it. Especially
the cards have not been the cards have not been good. The cards have not been worth $70.
Correct. I've looked at these guys and said, "Who are these?" I mean, even the TikTok guys have started to stop the watching it. There, you can now watch TikTok. You can hear the fight. You can't actually watch the fight because they just stopped streaming. Everyone's like, "Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Show the fight! Show the fight!" And the guy's like, "No, I'm not going to show the fight." And then I got booted from one guy that said, "Hey, who was showing the fight?" I said, "Stop liking the video. As soon as you start to get to a certain likes, it's gone." And then the guy booted me because his whole point was not to actually watch the fight. His point was just get a bunch of likes, which helps him promote more stuff. So he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to boot you." I know a lot of people. I know Keg already gave out Amanda Ribas at minus 210. So best bet lock of the night card, Ilya Taporia put in parlays. I see Taporia there. You like him with Gabriel Santos? Okay, that's not too bad. I'll take that. I can get a unit on that if I parlay them together. See, this is the fun thing. When you look at the draft, and it's at this point, you're like, "Oh, the guys we wanted to go are already gone. Let's just see who kind of is left." Because this is really, we're like, "Oh, you get a first round pick." Some of these guys aren't first round talents. I'm just sorry. Jet Howard, they gave him a C+. That was the worst pick in there because I was like, it was the worst pick. You had no idea what on earth the Magic did taking Jet Howard.
Except that
were they drafting for need? Does he fill a need for them?
I mean, it depends. It's a 6'8" 2 guard.
Yeah.
I mean, the need would be taller guys.
Sure.
Touchdown BC, 17-6. We do get to 23 points.
Oh wow!
On the final play, 5 plays, 70 yards,
nice.
49 seconds.
Good deal.
Can we get a point? Somehow.
I would like the point too, but there was no more time on the clock, so we're not going to get a single.
Damn.
I wonder what the total went to. Yeah. That sucks.
That helps, but it sucks.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever our plus 12, it's we just need this 43. So that's huge. All right. So where are we? Utah selecting Keontae George. And it's interesting that Atlanta took Buffkin because they've kind of got a gluttony at shooting guard. They thought they had a trade to Indiana for DeAndre Hunter, but at the last second it kind of fell through. Now, this is a guy that I view as a good college basketball player. I think he's just going to be another guy as a two guard in the NBA.
Do we have another NBA game or what?
Another NBA game?
Or WNBA, I should say.
Yeah, we got the Indiana Fever at 10 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock?
Almost.
So we got the Mystics are up by 20. The Sun are up by 20. I like the over in this Indiana-Seattle game.
Yeah, I like Indiana in the over.
Indiana's lost a lot of its luster. That's been the one issue. Yep. First half Mystics, first half Sun. So that went through 52. Those are both going to cash. That's, yeah, I've got a lot on the over. Apparently, I've got 3 units to win. I've got, 3 units to win 6 units. So I got to hedge somehow. Not
All right, we got
lovely.
1 off for Wake. 2 outs.
The game is still going.
Yeah, no one scored.
Yeah.
The under 8 was the easiest win in the history of wins. I do love a book that allows you to tease as the teaser having open teaser. That is so nice.
Yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, those are nice.
I don't know. I gotta find something different.
I told you I'd hook you up if you want something.
No, I just want something that is easy to use and that doesn't go down. And honestly, I'll tell you what I need is I need one that offers me first 5 team totals. That's what I need. That's what I'm missing.
got that.
I found one book. I found one domestic book that offers first 5 team totals so far, and that was Tipico. That's the only one that I've found that offers it.
I've got one. It's not domestic.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Flamingo down 2-0.
He stole. Did he get him? Did he get him? Oh, he's safe.
So these are the guys to me that like. No, he's safe. He's clearly safe. Did he come off the bat? I really hate that rule, by the way. Yep. LSU did challenge, and that'll be it for this pitcher. Yep. So Keontae George. So Utah is part of their picks. They pick up Hendricks. They're going to pick up Keontae George. Tabitha Ritchie. All right, we still got Gerardo dropping down UFC plays. Trying to tail some of these.
Perfect.
Anybody got a second half yet?
No.
I wonder if it's just going to be, yeah, second half's going to be the earlier full game line. It's by 1 point. It's a plus. It's a 25. So if you took the full game at 49, you probably should just stand pat. The only question you might want to take is that BC Lions plus 3.5 because they're just dominating.
I'm going to keep taking LSU. I think LSU is going to win this game.
I don't.
You don't?
No. I mean, Wake was the number 1 team in the league, country for most of the year, for the last month and a half. Wake has the 3 spot pitching practice. The question in this game was always going to be, can the LSU bats outscore the Wakes? As soon as you start to move down the order, like the guy pitching right now has a 6 ERA. And then everybody was saying because Skeens was just going to go the length of the thing. He went 8 innings. LSU's bats couldn't score. Wake has brought out their relief pitchers. Wake's pitchers come in 2 ERA, and the starter, who's going to be the top 10 pick, went match Skeens, except he went 7 innings. So this will be it for the LSU guy.
They're having communication issues. That's why. Relax.
Yeah,
LSU's
that was
Don't worry.
that was the reason he threw it at the guy's ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah. With 3 balls on the clock. Lakers on the clock. A lot of people think this is a potential move for the Lakers.
I told you couldn't hear.
All right. It couldn't hear,
Couldn't see.
So he threw another ball. After he got the new communication equipment, he threw another ball. I'm shocked they're leaving this guy in.
Me too. 45 pitches.
He's thrown 45 pitches. He's got a 6 ERA. Oh, he got him to pop him up. And that'll end the inning. He gets out of it.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean, LSU's live because they're in the bottom of the inning. Minus 7.5. Team total is 48.5 right now. The Yankees have yet to score a run. They've just basically got smacked around by 10 runs tonight. And the Lakers have picked a click. They've got a Jalen Hood Shiano. A guard out of Indiana. I'm interested to see if this is a trade. Because this would be the pick. If the Lakers were going to acquire Hield and Turner, they would be acquiring them by using the 17th pick. But please tell me the Indiana Pacers didn't really want another 2 guard. Right, they didn't draft a 2 guard. That's right, they traded the 2 guard. Yeah, does someone want to tell Indiana they basically drafted 2 point guards in a row? I mean, the Lakers try. So, I don't think Indiana would want this. If they did, that would shock me. You have Halliburton, you got Mathurin, you have TJ McConnell. He's slow. If I see one more highlight film of a guy being drafted that is making a basic layup, I'm just going to assume there wasn't a lot of highlights available.
Right.
Here we are. We're going to show you laying it off the backboard, uncontested. He's a dynamic scorer. All right, so we got the Miami Heat up. Guys that are left that the Heat can be looking up because I haven't looked to see who was picked. Noah Clowney makes the most sense. That's a guy I had pace to go in the top 20 to the Heat. Oh,
the Yankees score.
Wouldn't be shocked if this is Chris Murray. Golden State's next. You gotta be hyped. Are you gonna draft Nick
I'm
Smith
not even
and get
watching
another?
this thing. I'm LSU with the single. Let's go. Hell no, I don't care who they pick.
It's gonna be Nick Smith out of Arkansas.
Oh,
That would be a good pick.
Because to replace Jordan Poole and allow you to develop, yeah, that would be a smart move.
I put my baseball for tomorrow in the chat. I got the lines for tomorrow. The other game that I liked was that Braves Reds over, but the line is 10.5, so I'm not taking that.
Oh, I'll take that. Who's pitching? Hunter Green's on the DL, so it's not Green's not going to pitch for a while.
So
I mean, Abbott
Weaver,
just pitched.
11.
So, yeah,
Weaver and Smith Shopper.
Weaver and Smith.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take the over. That line's going to be 11 by the morning.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Whitmore is still available. It's amazing that he's still available. He was a top 5 guy.
Who is it?
Whitmore out of Villanova.
Yeah. Well, the college guys get pushed down the board when all these other kids are going.
Well, I mean, you have all the freshman guys going right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Whitmore was still a freshman too, though. So, I mean, 6'7", 235, small forward. The question is his foot speed, being able to guard the perimeter. This could be a guy that Miami would really like to come get, because it could be a guy they don't have.
Wonder how many more years Sheboy is going to play college.
Is he playing again?
I mean, he's not in the draft, is he?
Yeah, he is. He's a second round pick.
Oh, is he? Really?
Yeah, he'll be a second round pick.
Oh.
He's only 6'8".
It's weird to me because college guys, like guys that I would think of as being like the top college guys, doesn't generally translate to the NBA. You know.
Cool, correct. Well, there's always see. This is when I'm surprised when like, oh, second round picks and two-way players and stuff go well. Like, look at Keldon Johnson. Like, you got a guy who gets picked mid first round, but what is he? He's a good scorer in college, top player, gets the NBA. He's just not that flashy whatever guy, but he's got a great shot. He can continue to score. That's not going to stop. Like, you look at the second round this year, Isaiah Wong's going to be drafted in the second round. He was the ACC Player of the Year out of Miami. The issue with Isaiah Wong, he's 6'4", 185. He doesn't really have that athletic leaping ability. Struggled to get a shot sometimes in college. He's going to really struggle to get a shot on heavy defense. So when guys say
Right.
struggle to get the shot, I always think, okay, you're talking regular season versus
Come
postseason.
on, bro.
The regular season, I
Hit a
believe I
home
could
run
get
or
a shot.
something. Let's go.
Johnny
We need a home run. We need
Yaquez.
a triple.
Yaquez, another guy who was plus 200 to be drafted in the top 20, gets drafted in the top 20. I think this is a guy who's
Jaquez?
reached the ceiling. LSU won. It's 2-0.
Bah! Yes, sir.
LSU
On
versus
cue.
Florida.
Who drafted Jaquez?
The Miami Heat.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like Jaquez as an NBA player.
LSU
I
wins
mean-
with a walk-off home run.
To me, Jaquez to me is like Dario Saric. Without the
He
same
seemed
guy.
like he seemed like he was a good presence on the team. Like I feel like he was more a role model and a leader on the team. That was a more important. Like he was better at that than an actual player. So
Agreed.
that's obviously something very important to have in college. I don't know that that's going to be super important in the NBA.
Yeah.
Guys in the NBA are men. They don't need lead. They don't need, Jimmy Butler doesn't need somebody to lead him. He's been there.
Yeah, there's. I mean, I don't think this guy was a first round pick. I mean, to me, it's basically what they said. He is a fundamentally sound player. He is going to be a guy who gets you and does a lot of the little things, but he's not Scotty Barnes. He doesn't have
Right.
that great athleticism that's there. He's going to be hampered by what his ability to do on the basketball court. Not a tremendous shooter either. So, but what he does have is tremendous will. He does have tremendous will. He's a guy who will do whatever it takes, the little things, to win a basketball game.
I would say,
but to me, that's a second round pick. Like Gary Payton is a guy who will do whatever it takes to win a game. Ty Jerome will do whatever it takes to win a basketball game. Those are second round picks.
I would compare him almost to like a Joakim Noah type, like kind of like a scrappy guy that can.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that size. He's 6'7". I mean,
it's gonna be tough to bang inside at that height.
Well, at 6'7", you're gonna want to hang around the perimeter and be able to hit shots. Is he better than Caleb Martin, or is Caleb Martin going to be looking for a price that's too much, and he's going to be a guy that's going to come in and try to develop like Caleb Martin did?
Yeah,
because Miami's not going to keep him. Because Martin's definitely going to ask for the bag. Oh, but the under 8 LSU comes in easily. I lost my plus 1.5 on Wake, but I did take LSU minus 1.5 live to cover, so I didn't lose any money. I ended up making a very, very small amount. Yankees really scored no runs. He lost 10-0.
They hit a 2-run shot, didn't they?
Oh, they did. No, they lost 10-2. Okay, cool. They covered my 9.5. At least I got the 9.5. Yeah. We got the Fever getting ready to tip off. Well, actually, it's already tipped off. It's 10 minutes in. We got a 12-13 game early, which is what we liked. We got points. That's all I care about. Points. Kick me some points. Okay, it will be a hell of a night if I can get this over. Because Connecticut Mystics was an easy winner. I can get that. If I can get this BC, I can get this Flamingo over 2.5. Oh, I got the 2.5. I got 4 runs. Yep, I got that.
Got 17 freaking corners by one team. You better get that.
Yep. Gorgeous. I just needed actually over 1.5 runs. Cool. Yes, baby. Beautiful.
How are we looking in this in the CFL game? Like I'm not seeing any points.
Have we started again? It's 8 seconds
Yeah.
in. I have this about 20 seconds in. Yeah. I haven't seen any points yet. Let's see what Colaris comes through. They really got to stop. The issue is the offensive line. I mean, BC's got 4 sacks. Again, if you get basically sacked right before on a play, your chance to move the football and not punt is very, very difficult. It's not how we wanted to start the quarter for a sack. Here comes Golden State. Are they going to take Cam Whitmore? That would be a smart pick by them.
Podolski.
They take somebody they're going to Brandon Podziemski, guard out of Santa Clara. I don't know anything about this. Rich?
Well, he's from Santa Clara, so
Santa Clara. That's an interesting pick.
they must
His
know
name's not
something if it's coming from the Bay Area.
His name's not Steve Nash. That's what I'm going with.
Was he even on the first round picks?
Yes. He's projected to be in the 20 to 25 range. Golden State picked 19.
Okay.
It's not too much out of the range.
Well,
I don't know anything about this kid at all.
got their guy. Let's see here.
So they
6'6",
draft a guy, and
205.
the only ESPN shows is Chris Paul highlights.
Yeah. Podziemski.
That's kind of funny. Here, the guy gets drafted. Here's your moment in the sun. Let's talk about him. No, what we're going to show you is Chris Paul highlights. Where he fits in, we're not really sure.
So yeah, he's from he's an Iowa transfer.
We go with
6'5",
versatility. Is what he brings to the
204.
table. Yeah, I mean, to me, he's the guy to replace Ty Jerome eventually and kind of develop.
He's the best three-pointer of his class, so.
Let's see. Yeah, he averaged 19 points. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
NBA comparable, Dante DiVincenzo. We already have one of those guys. Oh my god.
We already got one.
Yeah.
Next.
His weakness, undersized for his position. Great. Yeah, that's what we needed.
Really, that's what you're looking for. Yep.
He was all WCC, and he was WCC Player of the Year. 22-23.
He can shoot. That's basically what we.
That's what it looks like. He's a career 48% field goal, 48% from 2, and 43% from 3. Yet somehow he's only a 77% free throw shooter. He's a shooter.
We might as well
That's
go
what
for
you got.
Boogie
You got a
Cousins.
shooter.
Yeah, but is this a move that they're going to move Clay?
Maybe.
Or is he there to develop behind to take the full role on the bench? And there's moves Golden State's going to make. I know guys have been shopping trying to get Jonathan Kuminga.
Well, when I typed in this kid's name, the first thing that came up was an article from SB Nation from 2 days ago saying that the Warriors are going to draft this kid. So.
Okay.
The Rockets
Yeah, I do wish
pick
sometimes.
up the guy that slides. Wow.
Yeah, Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore is a good player. It makes sense. They don't have a three. They got the kid they drafted last year. We can't even remember
Well,
his
they're about to
name.
get Harden.
At LSU. They're not going to get Harden. Harden's not going there. That's all smoke show.
What kind of smoke? Oh, sorry.
That's all just to try to get Philadelphia to give more money. He's not going anywhere. Nobody else has cap room. Why you pick the Rockets? You pick the Rockets because they have cap room. And do you want him to come play with Jalen Green and Jamari Smith? He's not the same guy he was. To me, one of the trades that would have made sense would have been Chris Paul. Chris Paul on that team would have probably been a very good thing. All right. Guys are going nuts about the BC Lions here. Vernon Adams extends there. We get another three. Bombers hold him to 3, 20-6, but it's 3 points. That's what we need. I need the Bombers to score. Get this 20-13. Got to get touchdown here. Can't keep getting field goals. And to do so, you're going to have to block. So, do get 3 more points. Oh. Why did I not have the
Fever
WNBA?
up by 6. Let's go.
Don't worry, they'll blow it in the 9th. No.
Who's up?
Indiana
Fever.
Fever.
Oh. All right, boys. I think I'm going to drop off here. I got a golf outing in the morning.
All right. Enjoy. Thank you for the picks for tomorrow.
All right, enjoy that
We'll
vacation, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got those other ones for Saturday, but obviously no lines, so I don't really want to give anything without lines.
Okay. That's fine. That's cool.
So.
Makes sense. Yep.
All right. See you guys.
Easy. Yep.
All right, man.
So is MT13 on here? Do we have any golf plays? Gerardo's giving out a KBO play. I haven't bet KBO in a while.
Still got to do something.
What do we? Yeah. That's South Korea, right? Maybe I'll pick a KBO play with the UFC play. I'll do a little parlay here. It's been a good night.
How come it's always that same tone with every single draft?
There's Cam Whitmore. I mean, this is a good move for him. It's actually probably a good landing spot. So we're taking Doosan. I got minus 137. That's close to what he has. All right. So who's the other guys he liked? He liked Justin Tafa. Okay, that's minus 179. All right, and you like the lot, Toporio. Yep. I do agree. It's an absolute steal.
We got the Bombers. It's 20-6. We got a 3.
Yes, they held to the 3. We need the Bombers to come back here and get a touchdown. That's what we need. That or someone to get a single.
Yep. Here comes the Fever. 23-19. Let's go.
BC looking really good. Yeah. I don't understand why Whitmore fell as well as he did. We got 40 points already in the first quarter in the WNBA. That's what you're looking for. We need to get this 164. That'll be beautiful. Yeah, the Rays really hurt me, didn't they? I just took a little chunk of my winnings there with that.
Where do we watch that game at?
PFL? It's on TSN. You'd have to be on TSN Live. I'm watching a kind of a bootleg thing through my provider. Book. That's not something I can share. And it's way behind real life because I'm looking at.
Don't worry. I was talking about the WNBA game. How do you watch the Fever game?
The Fever game's on Amazon.
Amazon. All right.
Prime Video.
Got it.
Yep. So that's on my iPad. Yeah, we got 46 points all there, so we should be at a nice place to get this over. Oh, we got Rich fell right before his favorite guy comes up here, Dan Hurley.
Hurley
wins one chip, and then all of a sudden he's the world's greatest coach.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the Fever first half. After that, I think we'll call it.
I'm surprised I can't get any live on that. I'm really kind of pissed at that. I mean, I keep getting stuff on Winnipeg, which goes up and down. I took BC the second half, though. If we're not going to hit that, it's going to be because BC's defense showed up. That was more of a hedge play. Yeah, the poor right tackle for Winnipeg is just getting abused over and over again. Claire's trying to make magic here, but he's running for his life. He is running for his life. They can figure out a way if this pass rush can slow up here and get something to happen. They're just getting bumped right now. Why is Dan Hurley talking about Whitmore? You got to be okay. We're talking about Hawkins. Okay, that makes more sense. I do love when they put coaches out here. So let me give you a little there. Let's look at this from a recruiting perspective. There's no college coach that's ever going to be out here for a guy that's drafted, because this is basically free advertised for his program, and say any bad thing at all about a player. Because if he does, it would be a recruiting kiss of death. So you're going to have every college coach come out here and go, he's tenacious, he's tremendous, he's a tremendous hard worker, he really wants to get better. He's going to do, you see the same thing in the NFL draft, and it's kind of like, dude, what is the point of having these guys on here at all? It's just pop and circumstance. None of these guys are giving you a true, accurate perception.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a BC there. All right, the pick is in. Roach is actually doing a good job not showing the picks. Sharm's telling the pick like 10 minutes before it happens. So if you really want to know what's happening in the draft, long before they're picking. All right, Brooklyn's going to select the center. Don't they already have a center? Don't they already have a center that they don't play right now? In Claxton? Yep. I mean, Claris just keeps getting sucked. I would take right now. I tell you right now, I'm going to take BC Lions minus 9.5. They're sacking Claris on every single unit, and Winnipeg can't play any defense. So Vernon Adams keeps threading them. Yeah, I didn't understand this pick for Brooklyn. You just took a center. They call him a forward, but I don't think he's a forward. Vernon Adams and moving him right down the field. Second and 15. Let's see if they can continue the drive. Winnipeg can't get anything going because they just get sacked every single time down.
Damn. So you took the 9.5?
I took the 9.5, yeah. Like the second half, too. I'm highly impressed that they have shut down this Winnipeg, but they shut down this Winnipeg because they just can't block on the ends. I mean, BC's only given up 15 points in 2 games. Granted, the level of competition wasn't the best in the CFL, but this is very impressive to what they're doing right now. And Winnipeg's got a good punt returner.
See what happens. We still need the over, right?
Yeah, we still need the over. I mean, but our hope might be to get kind of some garbage points because the Winnipeg defense is not that good. So BC is moving the football. I'm more worried about the teaser. That's the biggest thing I want.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need the over. We need points.
Yep. All right. Did this guy just speak English?
Probably not.
We just gotta know it got come through and then come through and we come through and
Still got about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. 30-29, Indiana. These guys like to shoot a lot of threes, no matter where they're at.
oh yeah, they definitely do. That's a guarantee, yeah. That was the other thing I messed up on. I messed up first half by 1 point.
About 1 point. Oh,
First
the
half.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, BC,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Seattle just hit a 3.
Seattle's been playing well of late. I mean, they really have. They've been playing teams pretty nicely. Brooklyn's on the clock again. Maybe they'll take another center.
Oh, why not?
I mean, Nick Smith would make sense. Chris Murray would make sense. Ryan Rupert from France makes sense. Don't worry, they're probably going to take Leonard Miller. All right, we got 62 points. Still on pace here for this Indiana-Seattle game, first half. Get over. Line's moving up. BC's now minus 10.5.
Damn. They're just completely shutting them down.
Yep. Can't do anything. I mean, that's what happens if you can't block. Yep. All of Canada is going nuts and saying the BC Lions are basically for real.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it's just not even close. It's going to be interesting if the books catch up, though. And their defense is. Line's now 12.5. Worst part, it's 12.5, and the total keeps going down, which means they don't think Winnipeg's going to move the football. This prolific offense that scored 88 points is stuck at 6. All right, let's see who the Nets pick. Of course, I could just cheat and see who the Nets take. Derek Whitehead. Okay, the one kid from Duke that decided to leave. It's not that guy. That's not Derek Whitehead. It's John Shire. You're taking this kid based on his high school. You're not taking him based on what he did at Duke. Because he didn't do really squat at Duke. I mean, you're going to start wondering if you're going to start seeing college guys stop shooting some threes because it's going to hurt their percentage. And they want to be, I'm a 40% three-point shooter. You do realize, like, the college line and the NBA line aren't the same. So they shoot 40% in three in college doesn't mean they're going to shoot 40% in the NBA. How many times are we going to see Wembanyama here?
You know, 45 is the over-under probably.
Yeah, they can't move the football. Trying to run the ball, that doesn't work. It's amazing how much they just absolutely tore apart this team. Winnipeg is going to need to get a little tricky here. Oh, come on, guys. Make a play. 13.5 now. The worst part, they don't want to. They keep dropping the total by like 1 point. So it's like 41.5, 42.5, 41.5. Like that 1 point. I mean, obviously, it does matter a little bit more in college in CFL because you have the single, but it's kind of hilarious. But 4:47 left. We've only got 3 points. Well, there's a new king in CFL. No doubt about it. It's the BC Lions.
Right.
Winnipeg will have a chance to get the revenge. I mean, when Vernon Adams plays, BC is a very, very good team. He's an electric player. There, obviously, they have a great defense. That's helping as well. But they're able to put up points strictly on the legs of Vernon Adams.
And Indiana is up 3. 5 minutes to go.
We got over 83 points.
We got 65 right now.
Yeah, but we've been stuck at 65 for or 67 now. Yeah, it's still 5 minutes ago. We should definitely get over the 83. So stingy. They can't move the football. This was a quick pick here by Portland. We're just going to finish the draft.
There we go. Indiana with a nice little and 1.
Yeah, I finally get a chance to get something live. It's the first time it showed up on my book for a live. Chris Murray, the brother of Keegan Murray, gets picked. Not as good as his brother. A little stronger than his brother, though. So. He's got more size. Really? You're going to put the NBA comparison they gave him to his brother? You want to talk about, yeah, that was really lazy comparison there. Like we know, like his brother's a finished product. Played 1 game, 1 year. All right, we're going to compare him to, let's see if we can come up with an NBA guy. Oh, we'll go with his brother. Like, to me, Keegan Murray is a little more fluid. The body type is slightly different. First half is 91.5. Fever 5.5 in the first half. You can get them up 3.5 for the game, though. Kind of odd. We got 70 points here with 5 minutes to go. Live total is 92.5 for the first half. Finally jumped over that 14.5 mark. And the BC gets a field goal. 6 points, 23-6. We're slowly itching toward the number we need. We need 2 touchdowns. Minute 35 left in the third quarter. Live total is 39.5. First time it's dipped below the 40 mark. Storm aren't going away, though. I'm telling you that right now. Like 5.5 in the first half of the Storm might be what I'm going to take. Yeah, there's not a lot of defense in this game, too. Both teams are like, can't miss. Storm's last 2 games have been 190 points. 190 and I think 180. Murray makes sense because Murray's going to fill that Jeremy Grant position that I doubt they're going to give him 5 years, $30 million. Yeah, they're going to say the same thing. Nick Smith was the guy I thought the Warriors were going to take. So. Sacramento's going to take a guy I've never heard of. Olivier Maxime Prosper? Who the crap is this guy? Oh, he's some guy from Marquette. I don't watch a lot of Marquette basketball. Like, you look at the mocks, most of the mocks had Derek Whitehead being picked in the 30s. But this is where I think people who don't understand. From 20 to 40 in the NBA draft, the difference between one guy is like this big. I mean, none of these guys are so much different. Oh, that was a reach. No, it was there. I mean, okay, so this kid's going to Dallas. 6'8", 210, small forward, power forward. Little older player in the draft. He's a junior. Second oldest guy drafted so far. Jaime Jaquez was the oldest. Felt like he was there for 19 years. End of the third quarter, Winnipeg finally makes a play here. Maybe they can get to put up some points. Indiana's up 5, 41-36, 77 points. We look at soccer this weekend, just to give you guys still there. Not a lot of this. We're losing people as the hours go. We got Norway, Ireland games tomorrow. We finally get out of some of there. We still get some of Argentina as well. Hartford versus Fram. Hartford is basically giving up. They've given up 22 goals, 21 against. They've given up 43 goals, 43 total goals in their games. If you're not looking at the over 3.5 in the Hartford games, you're not paying any attention. I definitely would be looking at that. Kavalek is going to play Flyker. Kavalek is the worst team in the league, only scoring 7 times. Flyker has only scored 14 times. Traditionally, this game is an over 2.5. So if your book is nice to give you an over 2.5, I'd probably take that with this game. Breidablik and Kopafoger. Breidablik is always one of the top teams in the league, 1 or 2. Has a nice goals against average, 23 to 15. So nice 8 goals difference. The difference is this is on the road. Copa Fargers lost 4 straight at home. You're not going to get a great price on this, but I take Breida Billick in a parlay. Derry City versus Cork City. Best way I can say from Ireland, Cork City sucks. They're not as bad as UC Dublin, but Derry City should win this. Speaking of UC Dublin, they play Sligo Rovers. UC Dublin has only scored 11 total goals in 20 games. They've lost basically 8 games in a row. That would be another parlay piece for Sligo Rovers. I'm going to take St. Patrick's over Shelbourne. St. Patrick's is a team I like to get on. I also probably take the over in this. 37 goals scored, 30 goals against in 11 games. Yes, you heard that right. In 21 games. Sorry, I apologize. I was there. We've been on Start in Norway. That's a team we've been following on there. So Start's going to play Jerv. Should be a goals fest. Should get roughly over 3.5 goals in this game. I'm going to be on Start personally to win the game. So that's what we go with Friday. Saturday, we'll get the rest of the Norway card. We'll also pick up some Swedish games as well. We'll also pick up the start of the Gold Cup as well. And then we'll have some USA MLS action. I've been telling you for a while, I'm riding this FC Cincinnati team. I'm riding this Columbus Crew team. I will check to see if Zellerin is back. The Euros are over, so he should be, unless they're going to give him the week off. So I'm going to be on FC Cincinnati almost every single game. The other team I'm starting to get on is the Houston Dynamo, especially on the over. We're going to continue to ride them for a while. Kind of see what their plays. I think they get the Sunday night game. No, they get Austin. Austin's been a team that's up and down. A lot of people thought Austin was going to come in here have a great season. So far, they've got a negative goals differential. They're still technically in the playoffs at the 8th seed. But I like this Dynamo team. I really like what I'm seeing. When you're seeing from that, you're also a good game to play goals. San Jose and St. Louis. St. Louis is starting to be really, really shaky in the back, starting to give up goals week after week. They can also score. So a great team to look for the over with them. Back-to-back weeks. We also have, where's my team? Real Salt Lake has cashed 2 back-to-back plus 300s, which has moved them basically in that. There's 4-0-1 in their last 5. They're going to get a Minnesota United team that's reeling. You can get them at minus 110. So I'm going to be on Real Salt Lake here to continue the good times going and get their 3rd straight win in a row. We're not getting any near the plus 300 that we were getting in the other games. So we've got 82 points scored in the Fever Storm 4-point game, minute 35 left.
We got a hella close game here, bro.
It's going to go back and forth. The Fever have been really good to basically fall apart in the 4th quarter, though. 23-6. We're into the 4th quarter. Attendance is 25,000 at the game. It's pretty good for a CFL game. Apparently, the radio network is going crazy that they're basically saying that no one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. You could take the BC Lions to win at just a minus 3,030. How they came up with 3,030, I would really like to know. All right, so we're almost done to finishing up the draft here. I think we're on pick 23, 24, maybe 25. Boston's drafting Marcus Sasser from Houston, but he is being traded to Detroit. I'm interested to see what the number's going to be. I mean, it's a 2-point game here at the half. Like I said, the Seattle Storm have been playing really, really well of late. They come in here only with 3 wins, but it's not like the Fever are that much better. They come in here with 4 wins. But Seattle basically played the Sun really, really well. Lost in the end by a 6-point game. They beat the Wings in a slugfest, 109 to 103. That's kind of what you're looking at here. They got shelled versus the Aces, not surprised. They beat the Mercury. By the way, I'd be betting the Mercury ATS, like whoever their opponent is, every single time. The Mercury suck. They're getting shelled game after game by 15, 17 points. Then they lost 2 versus the Mystics. So they've won 2 out of the last 4, 2 versus very good competition. You look at the Fever on the opposite side. They lost to the Dream, another similar game, just like that you just had that the Storm had, 94 to 100. Then they lost to the Sky close, 92. They beat the Sky close, 92-90, and they beat the Mystics. They got shelled. They actually lost to the Mercury. For that reason, they should almost be out of the league. They beat the Lynx 73-69, and there. So they've won 3 out of their last 5. Like I said, that is not surprising. It's a very, very close game. It's 48 to 44 at the half. So looks like you got the 92 points. The books had 93.5, so they're probably the ones smiling. No problem. Looks like we got Winnipeg might be able to put some points on the board here. We got a chance here for Winnipeg to get some points. Probably gonna get. I don't think they're going to take a field goal. I mean, well, they could if they get a field goal. That cuts it to 2 scores game. So I guess they will take a field goal. So I will tell you that, I mean, the shooting started to get cut down a little bit in this Fever game. So got a line in the second half yet? Yeah, I like. I actually ended up liking what the Wizards ended up doing. Get a player that's probably, if you convince Jordan Poole to stay for a little bit, and maybe he grows and becomes a better player, better shot selection. So Boston dropped down to 31 here. A chance to finish the draft. Still looking for a second half line here in the WNBA. Taking Ben Shepherd. He could shoot from the outside. Yeah, it's funny. The Winnipeg fans are asking to say it's time to take Claris out of the game because there's no reason for him just to get hit. He's getting hit on every time he drops back to pass. Did not think the BC defense was – I thought they were good, but I thought Winnipeg would still put up 20, 24 points. The hold them to 6 is – I mean, you almost got to take BC every night. As long as Adams is playing, they'll be able to put up enough points. Don't get me wrong, they're not electric on offense in any way, shape, function, or form. Got a 4-point lead by the Indiana Fever at halftime. They're giving you an 81.5 with 92 points scored in the first half. I got Real Salt Lake at plus 113 right now. 1-4 to the last 5. Won 2 straight games as plus 300 road team. You got a team that's definitely peaking. Touchdown, BC. We're not dead here in this over. It's a shame, but we're not dead here. It's 30-6. Lions add to the lead. 36 points. To get this over, we need, what do we need, 42.5? We need a touchdown. We need a meaningless touchdown. Nick Smith Jr. goes to Charlotte. So you get Brandon Miller, and then you finally get your other 2 guard. This wasn't a bad move for them at all. $43.5. Oh, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get 8 points. $30-6. This is just a shellacking. Maybe they stop blitzing every night time here, and we can get another touchdown here. Yeah, but do you like the Fever enough to take them at over 5? I don't know if I like the Fever enough to take them at greater than 5. Dude looks like he's high on drugs. Look at his eyes. Maybe it didn't work out because he wasn't that good. Well, Winnipeg makes a play. Let's see if we can get a quick score here. I mean, I love when you show me your highlights. You're showing me nothing what he did in college. It's all essentially the first 4 highlights were all what he did in high school. Will Winnipeg score any points in the second half? That's the question. 13 points scored by the BC Lions. Still don't know why you wouldn't take the -20.5. But Winnipeg's driving here. They got a chance here. Could be some garbage time here. I mean, this dude looks strung out on coke. Another sack by the BC Lions. I feel for the kid, but the kid looks like he's strung out on coke. Utah's taking Bryce Sensible. God, the end of this draft is just terrible. I mean, guys are basically going to go play the G League. Took a guy from Ohio State. Right there, you pretty much should have ended. 6 foot. Don't tell me he's a forward. He's 6'5". You can't tell me he's a forward at 6'5". Nope. All right. So, just want to let you know. So, Ryan Rupert fell to them. Leonard Miller's still available. That would probably be the guy I would take right now, a 6'10", small forward out of the G League who had a very good year. Trace Jackson Davis is available. A lot of people think Gigi Jackson had a promise to go in the first round. Same thing with Andre Jackson. I mean, Rupert's probably the one guy that had kind of been shocked he hasn't been drafted. 6'7" shooting guard out of France. But I think if you're Denver, you're probably I would take Leonard Miller because it's possible that Porter never works out. And he could be a guy that could come in and replace Porter in a couple of years if Porter wants a huge payday. Yep. Fever over's looking good. Got 92 points, but I've planted plenty of WNBA games that have looked great in the first half. In the second half, they couldn't shit, like, because they do try to shoot a lot of threes. It's the first home loss to a Western Division opponent for the Bombers since 2018 Saskatchewan Bowl. Drive ended. 6 minutes to go. Looks like they're just going to try to end the clock. One guy says that Claris has now been sacked 197 times tonight. That's what it feels like. And led to the linebacker picking the ball off. No, I have no idea who his name is. Yeah. Well, hopefully the good news is this should lower the amount that we get on the Bombers next week, and we'll be able to take the Bombers pretty easily, and they should come back to life. They took this kid? Oh, this is this guy. Oh, no. I didn't even like this guy in college. This is a proposed trade. Yeah, so this is going to the Pacers. They have 7 sacks on the game. It's like a college game. Why does it matter that he's from Las Vegas? That makes him tough-minded? Because he's from Las Vegas? Well, he's from Las Vegas, so that should make him tougher. Yep. Winnipeg is put in the backup. And the book has pulled all the live lines. Drew Brown has entered the game. We don't know anything about Drew Brown at all. Fever Storm game is going back and forth. If you're not watching this, this was a great game, 53-50. Beavers in a 1-point game. At 3 minutes to go. I think we've done with scoring. I think we're going to lose this teaser 30-6. They're not even letting do anything in garbage time. Yeah, see, Leonard Miller would have been the guy I picked if I was. The pace is definitely starting to slow in this Fever Storm game, especially as it continues to stay close. Ooh. All right. Well, the first round of the NBA draft is over at 11:15. Now, basically, everyone can fall asleep here as we go through the second round here in 5 minutes. So we are going to call it right on this. I mean, we're going to continue to watch this WNBA game, see what happens. I don't think we get any more scoring in what we're seeing here in Winnipeg. When you're sacking guys and off of garbage time, I mean, Storm are 2.5 live right now. Yeah, I mean, they do this. They come in here and they just go into a lull and they can't do shit. All right, I'm going to switch the game here because my thing is dying. Drew Timmy! Yeah, we get to watch everybody on Twitter go, I told you BC was going to win. Yeah, quite frankly, we should have just stuck there. That's my fault. I will own it. I thought Winnipeg would score 20 points. I thought they'd be able to give up points, but Didn't think they were going to be lying on their ass all game. Yeah, this third quarter is going to be absolute thing. I mean, but what you're seeing is a lot of misses. So Fever is starting to miss a lot of shots. Still wonder who's your scorers for this Fever when it comes to crunch time.
Sound of sizzle. This makes me salivate. How good is that? Very, very special treat. Forget about where it's a gypsy. Absolutely.
2 minutes ago in the Bomber game. Doesn't look like we're going to get any more scoring. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. It's 11:20. Best of luck, Gerardo, with that Fever bet. You took it again for third quarter? An 11-10 game? Where Seattle's going to the free throw line? Yeah, it's going to be a sweat. I think you can get -2.5 right now is game line. You can take it to win the second half, though, at +140, which is only a point difference. So if you're going to take the -2.5. But I see Seattle scoring a lot easier than the Fever. Yeah, it's not bad. All right, Charlotte is acquiring James Najee at number 31 from Boston. And sending picks number 34 and 39. So the Celtics have lowered their cap space, got rid of their first round pick, and picked up 2 early second round picks. Which is not a bad way to go. A lot of solid play. Yep. All right. Good night. Yep. Go do some Bears. We'll see. All right. Talk to everybody later. See you.